to ensure that I've got everything working the way that it is supposed to be working, right? Um,
Yes, yes, yes.
yeah, how about you tell us about what we could be expecting to see today? Of course, we are going to be looking at a few teams that are going to be looking to step up. The feed has, of course, gone live by itself. And I think in the meanwhile, let's try and jump
Okay.
straight up into the end game as, there's not going to be any time left for us to discuss anything. At this point, seems
No.
like everything is working as it should. So we are running on a little bit of a delay here as I'm just showing the flight path as a quick little bit of a preview, right, to get an idea as to what that flight path was, what it brought in. But hold on to your horses because we are going to speed it up, right? We are going to be playing it now at times twice to catch up to the present to see exactly what our teams have been getting up to. Of course, this is day number 2. If you guys missed any of that over the previous few days, so there is going to be a lot to look forward to as the teams are going to be fighting for their final few opportunities. And of course, we did see that glorious zone shifting over towards that western side, so everything will slow down. We'll promise.
Momentarily.
But yeah, let's see how this one is going to unfold.
Yeah, so a little bit of a wild start. This is the quickest jump into a match I've ever seen in my lifetime. But hey, we always are up for a bit of a challenge. You could see there was a little bit of bumper car action as well. So that was quite interesting. But moving into getting closer, at least, into current circumstances. I think you're getting closer. We're not quite there just yet. We see that 2 players have already dropped, unfortunately, but that is due to two teams actually joining with only 3 players. So it's still been pretty quiet. We haven't seen anyone really capitalize on any eliminations just for the time being, but it's going to all slow down momentarily. I haven't seen players move this fast ever in my life. Look how fast they're going.
You know what this is? We are speed running PUBG, right? So you can see me talk as fast as we can. So of course, now we got a little bit of position here. We can help by White Ace just sitting on the
Calm
roof,
down.
trying to hold the angle here, but all the way up towards that lovely southern edge, close to the side of that eastern bridge. Of course, now trying to take a little bit of a run. As the zone is going to be closing up, the car's going to be moving up. Mavericks now rushing straight on forward, looking for a bit of an opportunity, moving through towards that multi-side as we look over on towards that Sosnovka military island. It's going to be the side of Nordic going about their business, just running all over the place, getting all the loot. And, well, that's the fastest I can go. But
People are going to join and think that there's something seriously wrong with their browser, and it's all going to be because of you. I just want you to know that.
yeah.
Like I'm not even gonna try because I don't know what is gonna come out of my mouth if I try to speak that quickly. So we're gonna move on with a slower pace.
Yes.
I think you can just double click on live DK so we can just jump to what's currently happening. If we fall behind too fast or
No, we're getting there. We're almost there. We're almost there. We're catching up.
almost
we're catching
there.
up. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Fast.
Yeah, I mean, this
Okay.
is running at twice the pace. So, I mean, I don't want to miss any of the action because I'm scared if I jump forward, we are going to miss something. I mean, there's only 20 seconds. It's 20 seconds.
20 seconds of super speed. So yeah.
Yes.
So for the viewers watching, just deal with it for 20 seconds till we catch up to what's currently happening, to see who got where, what happened, and ultimately where we're at. At least it's the first map. So for those of you who've joined us for the first time, there is only 4 maps today that are going to be happening. Of course, this is the Moderators Challenge, so a little bit of a way to give back. And I think we've actually caught up. There we go. All right.
Almost.
Almost. A way for us to just give an opportunity to our wonderful moderators to see what they have in store for us in the battlefield. But of course, moving into this one quite swiftly, we know yesterday Prestige Gaming, they picked up a wonderful 50 points, so really set themselves up into a whole different level of play. Nordic quite close behind them, as well as Team Baguettes. We love Team Baguettes. But ultimately, it's going to come down to only today's games, 4 matches for them to be able to try and catch up to Prestige Gaming.
Yeah, it is going to be a bit of a push, right? And I mean, based on what we saw already yesterday, I mean, the barrier has been set, or the bar rather has been set. Top 3 teams, as you've said already, acquiring a bucket load of points, but I'm curious to see what's going to come through from teams like Vanguard 1, as well as Sabratata, right? We want to have everyone try and lock in as many points as they possibly can because this is the moderator challenge. I mean, we want to see everyone be challenged, and I would be quite satisfied if we had a team that, if they kind of made that insane bounce back, that insane comeback. I think that would make for a phenomenal story. The reality of that, though, is it going to happen? We don't know because this is the element of surprise, right? This is the excitement that we are facing here. Is anything can essentially happen at this point, right? Any of these teams can step up and bring in an absolute beast of a game. And all we got to do is just wait and see if that is going to be the situation.
Yes, sir. But yeah, ultimately, it's going to be quite a bit of a tough challenge. I mean, a bit of a baptism by fire for these teams. Like we said, only 4 matches, so 4 opportunities for them to be able to catch up. If Prestige have a massive game right on the first map, that is going to spell a little bit of disaster for some of our teams. Again, we still have at least 2 to 3 teams capable of catching that up in 1 or 2 matches, so it's not like all hope would be lost, but they definitely want to make sure that Prestige is not going to be that team at the top of the rankings at the end of this wrangle, and that, of course, being the only wrangle for the day. So already a few rotations moving up, as we did see the Baguettes slowly but surely going up that hilltop. They're out in the blue, so they will be trying to catch up to PMA. But it will be a little bit a while away, as we can take a look at that zone to see where we'll be pulling. A very western zone that we very quickly saw in the first couple of seconds of this map. Now needing to ask the question where it's going to go.
Yeah, I think that is going to be an important question to get the answer to. But in the meanwhile, of course, well, there's the answer though. It goes straight down in towards that lovely Gatka region. So that is going to allow a great opportunity now for the side there of Supratata, maybe to bring in a bit of dominance, right? That is what the opportunity will present. But of course, we can also see in the chat that, you know, the link has been posted for the code redemption, right? So if you were curious as to how you would be able to redeem the codes, you can follow the link that's pinned in the chat. And of course, the codes are going to be displayed on screen, right? So keep a close eye on that. We are going to be having a few codes. I think it's about 4 codes per match that will be appearing. So be at the ready, right? Make sure that you are locked, loaded, and ready to claim. Because, I mean, aside from this broadcast, there's, I think, like 5 or 6, maybe 7 others, all running off of the exact same feed, right? So it's not just the people that we have watching here, even though you guys are absolutely amazing. It's also all the viewers across all the other channels claiming the exact same codes, right? So it is literally a situation of fastest fingers first. And, I mean, we'll try and keep this as up-to-date as we can, right? So there's no delay with, you know, the codes and all of that being revealed. But now, speaking about delays, right? There's also not a major delay with regards to the aggression here. We still sit with all 16 teams. Of course, all 62 players still alive. As you've pointed out, Sabratata and the players from the side of Vanguard 1 started off with only 3 players in their roster for this match. But of course, a little bit of bumper car coming then through from the side there of Azerbaijan as well.
Yeah, a little bit of bumper car indeed, but we'll have to wait and see if they'll be making any of those connections. As we've seen, this is just the rotations right now. I mean, Team Baguette rotating all the way from the outside line, having to get themselves into the zone, and now, of course, trying to find themselves a nice little position in zone where they can start to capitalize on those eliminations. So far, not a single elimination has been had, so everyone is hungry for a few of those points. And of course, to get a little bit aggressive, while we just, again, like you said, have some bumper cars. But this is what we were talking about. Prestige Gaming setting up a fantastic, fantastic ambush over towards, I believe that was it ES Red? Yeah, it looks like that was Esports Red. So unfortunately for them, they will immediately lose those 2 players. And again, this is what we were talking about, that danger. Prestige Gaming, you need to be careful. You can't let them run away with this match.
Yeah, I mean, and they have quite a bit of a defensive day ahead of them, because they are going to be looking to hold on to that pole position. And as we know, the prize pool for pole position is 40,000 UC, right? So that is quite a chunk of change coming through there. So expect the players from Prestige to try and play this one as aggressively as they possibly can. But of course, now this is also the opportunity for Esports Red to maybe secure a few more additional players, as they've been taken down to an only 2-piece. Ramiz caught now in a very challenging position there, where they got to try and figure how they're going to play the remainder of this game. But of course, with 16 teams alive, it's not an easy task whatsoever.
No, it won't be at all. We can see that zone's not going to be closing in, so curious to see where that one is going to lead us. Of course, we know it's already been quite a bit of chaos, as we just saw Prestige jumping in, making that first appearance. And, you know, the teams are going to be seeing that. There we go. They start to join in as well. You can see CIS now picking apart the likes of Team Greece. At least one confirmation, not quite out in the open just yet, but we'll at least get a little bit closer to getting that one elimination. As you take a look at it, still a few more teams to rotate in. Nice compound hold here from Philippines. Definitely going to give them a lot of opportunity with the next few rotations, depending on how the zone is going to shift, to actually grab a hold of some early eliminations. As you said, it's vital at this point. We have seen how quickly these teams can step up. We had a team yesterday, I think, get like 16 eliminations in a
Yeah.
single map. So that's a bit wild. That's a bit rough.
That's pretty dang crazy. But also I think one of the teams that I'm going to be putting a little bit of attention on, or going to be keeping a close eye on, right, is going to be the side there of Greece, because looking at the performance that they brought in yesterday, I think they could be a team to really watch. They were especially finding some really strong momentum coming from game 2 onwards, right? That's where they really kind of got into the element, if one can say that. But in the meanwhile, we are going to be looking on at the Spaghetti Slayers here as well. The team, of course, representing the side of Italy. Beautiful hit coming in
Ooh.
from Aquaman. I know that doesn't say that there, but I think it sounds... I think you pronounce it as Aquaman, right? That's the name I'm going to go for. If I'm wrong, then, well, that's what it's supposed to be.
Akava, men?
Aquaman. I'm saying all of those letters. I promise. Really
Yeah.
quick, fast.
Yeah, okay, sure. We'll keep it for there for now. But absolutely, nice little bit of a return on investment there. But unfortunately, that's not immediately going to grant them that extra elimination. So they will have to just for now hunker it down. We can see a little bit of that zone action coming in. So zone has just slightly shifted down towards the southwestern position. We'll have to wait and see if it's going to continue in that direction, or if we're going to have another wonderful wrangle. Surprised to see these teams being put to the challenge. Massive congestion towards that center line, though. But you can see just all the way from south to center, it's going to be a bit wild. And of course, a wrangle is not going to disappoint. Look at where we are heading, DK.
Mm.
Talk about a lack of cover.
I mean, yes, that is going to be quite a tough play. We haven't really seen the zone move to that region very often. So it is going to be an exciting one for these teams to play around, because it's not in Quarry, it's not in Pachinki, it's not in Gatka. It's smack dab in the middle of all three of those positions. So it's going to be exciting to see how these teams are going to be looking to get themselves situated and potentially saturated. But now it is going to be Vanguard 1 holding onto the rooftops, looking for a bit of an opportunity onto the side there of Mavericks. And I mean, yesterday we also did see both these teams having a bit of a go at each other. And now let's see how that is going to conclude here. Will we potentially have Vanguard 1 now coming in hot pursuit? Fortunately for them, though, the zone today has not moved up towards the north.
Yeah, at least for this time around. But it is still going to mean that some wild rotations need to come in. As we've seen, we had a lot of congestion towards the previous center of the zone. So that is going to mean the new northwestern side is going to be heavily congested with teams trying to fight for positioning. You can already see Azerbaijan setting up a little bit of a very cheap ambush. We'll see if it is going to pay out in dividends. It doesn't seem like Mavericks are too worried about the situation for the time being. Just a couple bullets in the bumper, but it's nothing too serious for now. We do see Spain, though, taking that opportunity and actually grabbing one of the players there of Azerbaijan. So we'll have to wait and see if they turn that into an elimination. But over here, yesterday, Garuda, as we can see them staring down the likes of Team PM, they were off winner, chicken dinner winners. So curious to see if they can maybe replicate that coming into today.
Yeah, I mean, it would be great to see that consistent flow of aggression from a team like Garuda, because I mean, they were showing a lot of that yesterday, so much so that, as you pointed out, they were able to secure themselves that winner chicken dinner. And they also did that with still a decent amount of players left. It was two, if I'm not mistaken, right? But it's a new day. It's a new opportunity for more chaos to come through now, as we wait to see what Greece are going to be doing. Nice little bit of a shack play coming through, but the same is happening towards the players there from Garuda as well. So, yeah, this could be a nice bit of a face-off, and the 2-2 split now being held by them.
Ooh, nice and spicy. A little bit of a back and forth. We have seen Greece, take a lot of damage so far just to get into this position, but as we can see, they've kept up all of their numbers, and we can safely say that for most of the teams, it was only really Esports Red that was caught out in that ambush from a Prestige Gaming. So, I mean, it's not a bad setup in terms of what we're seeing from these teams, making sure that they're picking up as many numbers and bringing in as many of their players to these final moments of the zone. We'll have to wait and see how long that lasts, however, because we're only on stage 3, so still plenty more shifts that need to come through. Like that we do see Esports Red still involved in the conversation. At least Rami is pretty close to one of the players there from Garuda, might be able to jump in, make a bit of a play, but they will be doing so as a duo. So I expect them to be a little bit more quiet.
Mm. Yeah, I mean, I think at this point, a little bit of that little bit of peace and tranquility could maybe go a long way. Could help present a bit of an opportunity here. But I mean, looking at where Antidor is peaking, they could also find a hit even beyond the players there, just from the side of Garuda. That could lead all the way over on towards Esports Red. But in the meanwhile, it is going to be Team PM now just held towards the western edge, just on the outskirts there of the lovely quarry, as they are going to be having to face off against CIS, right? Aquaman already showing some beautiful hits coming through with that M24. A Bolty just doing absolute magic. But now the heat is on as the zone has shifted over towards the eastern side, and we do have a nice bit of congestion starting to develop over on towards the western front. But we still have essentially all the teams here. I mean, we've lost a few players here and there, sure, but we still have all 16 teams currently present on this map.
Absolutely, and like you said, the only players we've lost were those two from Esports Red. We do see PM taking a little bit of damage now, potentially in danger of losing another player, but I mean, we saw PM stepping up beautifully yesterday. Curious to see if they will do so again today. Doesn't look like Jane is joining this time around, so maybe a little bit of a roster swap that's happened. However, let's see what PM can do with the situation. Gwen down low quite a bit, but medkits will be popped off. CIS doing the exact same, looking for that nade connection. If they can find that re-knock, that might give them the opportunity towards the rest of the side of PM. But look at that. Ooh, I thought the hard cover was there, but unfortunately a quick assist from CIS does mean that PM is still in danger.
Well, now the heat is going to be on Zeus, still holding steady with the nade. Beautiful spray though. Dagger goes down, but of course a quick trade. Oh, Team PM being the first team to get backed up, getting shipped out with not a single elimination to their name. It was a pretty contentious play right there. I mean, it was so close to getting converted into an elimination. In the meanwhile, we now turn over towards the side of Sabratatas. We can see PTMS also in the feed now, finding the pressure onto the side of Garuda. And this is the excitement that we were talking about, right? Anything can happen at this point. Of course, Garuda down to a two-piece. PTMS now really having to try and make a lot out of such a tiny position.
It's going to be a pretty tough position here. They'll be finding themselves. Again, unfortunately, if you do have anyone spotting you out when you want to make this rotation, that gives enough warning that there's a potential here. There's a potential few eliminations someone else could grab away from you. So as we take a look at it, Nordic now rotation into a nice little bit of a compound. At least that's what they're hoping for. Unfortunately, this zone is going to make a few challenges seem available. Azerbaijan once again, bit of a setup. Oh, timing! Shalona trying to get away from that situation just in time as well. And again, Nordic, they've unfortunately lost a player. They're busy rotating. Ooh, to try and get that res. But it's not going to be easy here, DK. I mean, Azerbaijan might just be able to completely stop them from getting that res whatsoever.
I mean, the opportunity is there. The possibility is definitely there. But Azerbaijan also finding themselves in a bit of an interesting setup here, coming through with a very wide 3-1 split. But now Subratata rushes in, and that is the cue to send the side of Nordic backing. Now, it's not Nater and the rest of the team just trying to make the most, as there's only two of the Ratatas left. But Azerbaijan, I love this momentum that they're finding here. Some good approach and a great showing of that aggression coming through. But of course now Spain pulling up behind them might pose a bit of a threat, as we can see the shots already starting to connect on up. It is going to be up to Kazu and the rest of the team on the side of Spain to see if that is going to be the momentum they are looking for, as Siren finds a lot of damage getting sent their way.
Ooh, interesting position now. We see Azerbaijan, they immediately turn around from a wonderful opportunity play against Nordic to now having to stand up against the likes of Spain. Moving in, already one knock for Spain. They want to return the favor. They need to turn this one into a positive opportunity. Ooh, great crossfire, and oh, the nades are even better. That's going to be a great connection. And that is the opportunity now for Azerbaijan to move in and finish off the last play. My goodness, they didn't even get to finish a sentence. It's done.
Nope. Nope. That's just what they're here to do today, right? They are here. They mean business. They want to get themselves them elims. And of course, already a phenomenal performance there from the side of Azerbaijan. As we can see, 8 eliminations. That is quite the rampage. But in the meanwhile, down south, it is going to be Esports Red CIS. Holding steady. CIS sitting with a 2-piece. We got Zeus right here. Dagger just a little bit further up ahead. But it's also going to be a little bit of a limiting position. tough angle to hold. Oh, in the meanwhile, though, it is going to be Team Baguettes rushing in, just ripping Griffin and the rest of Vanguard 1 into pieces as they send them out. Oh, Zeus also being found by the utility. Now it turns to Dagger. Is Dagger still here? Is Dagger still up? Yes, Dagger is somewhere. Oh, yeah, off in the distance, securely within the zone.
This is absolute chaos. The teams have jumped on in with a much better aggression than what we saw yesterday. You can almost say that yesterday they were, in comparison, looking a little bit more statistical, calculatable. I mean, calculating. What am I saying? Either way, they were pretty passive in regards to what we're seeing now. But picking up the pacing immediately, Philippines, they're going to be struggling just a little bit as it's all down to Codex now, who's not really in a position to go for that res given all of the vicinity and the teams in the vicinity to now play for a little bit of that action. We can see Prestige actually going out. That's going to be good news for the rest of the teams in the lobby. With only 3 eliminations, it means they're not going to, at least for now, work on that lead. But Azerbaijan, once again, going to be the team to bring in the action.
And I mean, they are doubling down as they hit those 10 elims. But now Garuda still looking to try and make a little bit of magic happen here. As you can see, that western side also strife with a contention. But now Mavericks also coming under fire as they approach the zone. Garuda trying to lock it down. Finds their first elims, and there we go.
No way.
Another team getting shipped out. Down to the final 9 we go.
This is brilliant. Again, I'm just going to go back to it because I couldn't even speak first time around. But the fact that we're seeing everyone so much more aggressive, so much more hungry for those points really is such a good thing to see, because it means they're all fighting for that gap. They're all fighting for that #1 position to get themselves the most amount of UC possible from that gorgeous prize pool. But now we take a look at it. Esports Red, we know they've had a bit of trouble, but look at that. Just the 2 players, they've managed to pick up those 3 eliminations, and it doesn't look like they're going to stop anytime soon. There's still a little bit of danger looming right up ahead, as they do need to rotate on forward. They've got 2 teams trained on their current positions. This is not going to be an easy rotation.
Oh no, it's not going to be easy by any measure. Of course, now Esports Red also trying to make a little bit of noise. Already sitting with their 3 eliminations up. Finding themselves in a very tough position. I like the suppressive play coming through from the side of PTMS. They're trying to get the zone under lockdown, but that, of course, opens up the opportunity for that third-party play now. As you can see again, the shots just ringing in. Greece definitely picking up that ball, kicking it out the window. And Bully could maybe still get the res up into Ramiz.
Ooh, Bully will definitely have to make something miraculous happen here. We can see Bully's already picked up those 3 eliminations. 500 damage. They have definitely been making plays here for their team, but now pressure is still on their shoulders. Not only do you have to frag out, you also have to keep your team in this situation. You can see Azerbaijan just up ahead of them. They have been a nuisance already, up with 11 eliminations. Everyone is a little bit scared of what's happening in that camp, and now we see a little bit of a peek through. As CIS tried to get a little bit spicy, but unfortunately Greece too quick with the triggers. And look at this. Oh, Bully, they're going for it. They're trying to get themselves into zone.
Oh, you gotta run, though. You gotta run. And unfortunately, Bully gets found. Oh, another hit also then getting delivered on through. So we've got PTMS getting shipped on out. Greece still looking pretty strong at this point. They got 3 players in this match. 4. Well, yeah, now it's 3 as Yoda gets confirmed. Falling down for the final 5 teams in a very contentious position here. I'm curious to see also then what's going to come through with that Lone Ranger that we have out in the blue. That might be coming through from the side of Garuda. In the meanwhile, it is going to be the side of France now. Team Baguette holding a nice and steady angle. Of course, getting absolutely bombarded by the utilities. And with that is going to be Elam Yor getting taken down. Spaghetti Slayers fall, but as do France, as we can now see players here on the side of the Baguettes. Oh, feeling all that aggression. Greece definitely not going to be backing down.
I was waiting for you to say that Team Baguette was feeling a little bit toasty, but you didn't say anything. So I'm a bit disappointed. But it's okay. It's okay. It's okay.
I left
It's
it
only
for
the first
you.
match. I will wait for your puns later. Meanwhile, Team Baguette in a bit of a troubling situation here. Greece already sending out Milas to try find all of these snakes in the grasses, find those final few hits in. And one's been spotted. Thank you very much. Only one more left, and it's going to be Destina now to try and hold on. Is going to be finding Milas. Great trade, however. That information is going to be given away. Now we do know Greece has that information over towards Team Baguette. However, there's a bit of a bigger problem right now. We've got one from Garuda, and of course we have the entire team of Azerbaijan moving in and looking good for that winner chicken dinner.
Yeah, Azerbaijan, I think they have a really strong chance here of picking up this victory. But of course, they still have to fight their way through the remainder of Greece. But look at the 16 elims. I mean, Azerbaijan, right? They came in with an absolute vengeance here today. And we're not going to complain. It is looking absolutely phenomenal. But still,
No
four
way.
players up. The opportunity is there as White Days now starts to apply the pressure, finds a bit of an angle. Oh, but Antidote, you got to watch out now. Just hugging those hay bales as all the pressure for the team now rides solely on their shoulders. One nade from Zico could definitely close it up. As we saw yesterday, Zico being absolutely on fire with the utility usage. But White Days does get spotted on out. Oh, and now the pressure boils over as their Cena goes down. And it is now between Greece and Azerbaijan to decide who will be the victors. And it could still swing either which way.
Oh, technically we were looking at a 2v3, but Azerbaijan were just too hot on the trigger, picking up a gorgeous winner chicken dinner. So absolutely congratulations to them. And I mean, they deserve that. They were playing so aggressive. They were ready with the action. I'm pretty impressed to see them picking up such a beautiful, beautiful showing. But there it is, just the rehash of what we just witnessed. 19 eliminations.
Wow.
what is happening?
I mean, Azerbaijan nearly dropping a 30 bomb in this first match of day 2. Insane performance, so well done to them. I mean, this is the kind of plays that we love to see, right? We were talking about the potential for upsets, and that it was pretty evident right there. Of course, you got to commend the side there from CIS as well, right? Coming through with 6 eliminations, but that accounts for all their points, right? Unfortunately, not finding themselves any placement points, but of course, Garuda still securing themselves 7 along the way. The Baguette and Greece, both teams also then closing it off with a lovely 12-pointer. But as we move to the second page, we've got about 5 squads, right? Unfortunately, not being able to find any points in this first game. So that does apply the pressure, right? They have to try and double down moving into the remaining 3 matches.
Yeah, like we like to say, DK, we have 5 new customers to the donut shop that unfortunately are not going to be able to add some points to the tally this time around. But I mean, almost 30 points, 29 points that Azerbaijan are going to be adding to their tally. As we know, going into this one, Prestige ended off with only 53 points on the overall tally. So that's more than half that they have just caught up in one single match. And I do expect that there's going to be a little bit of wild shenanigans on the overall rankings. Meanwhile, we can take a look at our wonderful MVP. That, of course, going to be Siren, picking up 410 damage with 7 eliminations.
Yeah, that is a phenomenal play. I mean, Siren definitely singing a beautiful song here. Song of aggression. I mean, finding 7 eliminations out of only 410 damage, that is glorious, right? That is an accomplishment in and of itself. So, mad respect going out to the side there of Azerbaijan, already bringing in such a phenomenal start to the day. But again, now comes the important part, is what will this continue forward moving into the remaining games? Of course, we also are going to be taking a look at those overall rankings that will be coming up very, very soon. But Azerbaijan I think they are here to prove a very strong point today.
Yeah, look, in terms of a statement piece, dropping 29 points on the first match of the day when we only have 4 matches for the final day of the PMMC, that is quite a statement to be made. So definitely excited to see what they're going to be doing over towards Miramar, especially when we get to the smaller maps, how that's going to translate in terms of the aggression they could potentially bring. But it looks like the overall standing should be ready, so we can go take a look and see how exactly that has changed. And Team Baguette? Hello?
Well, they beget themselves the top position, so, you know, très bon, right? That was an absolutely amazing performance there. I definitely got to say, though, also that a healthy dose of points, because they secured themselves 12th, did do them quite a bit of justice here. But you can see Greece also moving up quite a bit. But look at Azerbaijan. I mean, also now joining the 40s club. So the top 5, it is going to be a super contentious play for remaining matches. And I mean, this was only the first one. We still have 3 more to work our way through. So we could still see any major upsets, because even looking at that pole position, which is sitting on 57 points, down to 10th. Right, that's only what, 36-point difference? Based on what these teams have been showing so far, that could change in 1, maybe 2 matches.
I mean, yeah, just to put it into perspective, we like numbers here. Azerbaijan going into that matchup, they were sitting in 10th position with 14 points. So jumping all the way to top 5, hello, yes, statement heard and loud and clear. Definitely in a position now to take the prestige away from Prestige Gaming. I didn't want to say it, but I did say it, I'm sorry. But ultimately, it's going to be down to those 3 teams. Like I said, Prestige Gaming, Nordic, Team Baguette, they were our top 3 starting the day off. Team Baguette now just jumping into the top number 1 slot. Looking very, very spicy.
Oh, yes, indeed. They looked quite spicy, but of course, we also have a few of the highlights coming through from this past match. And I mean, this was a game just absolutely filled with aggression. It started off a little bit more quietly, as one would expect, but I definitely wasn't expecting the teams to get down to business as quickly as they did. I mean, there was just such an immense showing of aggression across the board. And I think we are going to be in for an absolutely insane run when it comes to the amount of PUBG action that our moderators are going to be bringing to the battlefield here today.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised that we're going to be continuing to see this rush of aggression moving into the rest of the matches. I mean, thinking about it now, after this Erangel, we move over towards Miramar. Going to be giving the teams a lot more spacing to deal with, and maybe a few more bumper cars. I did enjoy that one, I have to admit. But it's going to give them that opportunity now to just hunker down, maybe even double up on all of this aggression and get a little bit more of those points added to the overall tally.
Well, speaking of points to the tally, we are going to be taking a quick break, so be sure to stay tuned. We'll see you guys back in a short few moments. Alright, what's up, guys? Okay, so, well, there's supposed to be a delay on the stream itself, right? So, in order to get the stream delay happening the way it's supposed to do, um, they are gonna delay it, right? So, we're gonna take essentially, I believe, what we could call a 10-minute break, something like that, right? Or a few minute break, something along those lines. So, we are gonna be playing the break screen until we have an update as to what exactly is gonna be happening here. So, hopefully, everything goes about smoothly, as we are going to be looking to find something along the way here to play, right? So that we have at least something to show on screen. But of course, yeah, as soon as everything returns, we'll return to the action. So the first match already done and dusted. The second match is going to happen. We're just going to have to wait a bit before we see it. That's just the way the cookie crumbles, right? So it is what it is. So bear with us. We'll get you back into the action as quick, fast as we can. Until then, enjoy some music, and we'll see you back in a bit. What's up, guys? All right, so you can see we are about 5 minutes and a bit of change away from getting into our next match, which is going to be over on towards the lovely, lovely Miramar. Well, there needed to be a delay, so they've added the delay in, and that's why, well, the delay, right? So we are just going to be waiting for the matches to start, or the second match to start. Of course, it has already started, but we just can't see it just yet, right? So just bear with us. The match will come to the screen very, very soon. As I said, we've got about 5 minutes or so left on the clock until that is going to be the situation. But as based on what we've seen so far in that very first match, right, we had a glorious,
Yes.
glorious showing of aggression, right? 16 eliminations being secured by one particular team.
Yes, no, that was 19 eliminations
Oh, yes.
secured by Azerbaijan. We had 16 yesterday, and we thought, okay, that's a little ridiculous. But then we had to just double down and pick up those 19 eliminations. So 29 points has pushed up Azerbaijan from 10th position all the way up to top 5, I believe. So that does give them a massive opportunity now to try and actually take a run for the first place finish. We did see Prestige Gaming at least making some appearance in terms of eliminations. They picked up a beautiful ambush over towards Esports Red. So there is still a little bit of a sign of glimmer or hope coming through from the Prestige Gaming camp. However, it needs to shine a lot brighter if they want to have any chance of stopping Azerbaijan, especially if they bring that aggression over towards Miramar.
Yes, and of course, speaking about aggression, right, these teams are also playing for their share of a little bit of the action as well, right? So, as we know, the teams are playing for, well, they're playing one by utilizing, obviously, the placement points, but they're also playing for their share of that prize pool. And, I mean, it was there just now, and I wanted to show a little bit of what that prize pool breakdown is, in case someone has missed it, but that will come through momentarily. But as we know, the prize pool for pole position is sitting on 40,000 UC. And of course, it is quite a bit of UC to play for, right? The amount of stuff that you can buy for that UC is absolutely insane. Of course, that is not 40,000 UC per player. That is just for the team. They can share it however they choose. If it was me, man, I would share it. I would share it because I mean it's a team effort, right? It's a team effort. But also, as we know, each of those winner chicken dinners are worth a glorious 4,000 UC additionally on top of that, right? So there was 8 opportunities. 4 of those already happened yesterday. And as we know, moving into today, again, obviously 4 more matches. The first one already concluded. We've got 1 more to go. As you can see, we have just under 3 minutes left on the clock until we are going to be bouncing back to see what the lovely Miramar is going to be bringing in. And it's going to be time for the desert, right? Also like to catch you off guard when you're not really looking, you know.
That's rude. And
it's
you can
fun.
see that I'm not looking. You can see that I'm typing.
Yes.
Yet you do this anyway.
Yes.
But yeah, sure. Be that way. So yeah, another 2 minutes till we're going to be jumping into the dusty dunes, and DK is at least going to be moving off of my face. So very soon, very soon. But thank you for everyone who's been joining us. Like we said, this is just to give a big shout out and a little bit of love to our wonderful moderators who work so hard throughout all of the seasons, and they deserve every little bit of it. So yeah, I mean, we can take a little bit of a look through our wonderful team rosters. And I mean, in terms of what we saw from the Garuda team yesterday, they definitely made a mark over towards Erangel. Unfortunately, this time they were pale in comparison to what Azerbaijan brought in, but very impressive nonetheless. And again, Team Baguette currently our team in the top 1 slot, so they're going to be the team to beat moving into Miramar, especially towards the rest of our matches as well. And I think they can do it. I think they have proven that they are a team to be reckoned with.
Yeah, but you know, I think there's a reason also why Team Baguette is performing the way Team Baguette is performing, right? Because if you take a baguette and you put a little bit of Nutella on it, it's amazing. So it makes sense, right? The correlation doesn't have to make sense. It doesn't have to make sense. It just does. If you're in France and you have baguettes, they've got Nutella on them, and Nutella is amazing. They sell them by the bucket load. But of course, you know, also another team that I'm curious to see is Spaghetti Slayers, right? I mean, they've shown some pretty great potential. I mean, we did also see Nico and CU yesterday when we were on the Erangel map, also being presented with a few challenges along the way. And I mean, then another team here, also Prestige. I mean, they were having a phenomenal run yesterday, but today they faced a little bit of difficulty, and as we know, there was a bit of an upset coming through with regards to those standings. But also then CIS Esports. I mean, Aquaman, Scream, Dagger, and maybe Zeus. They've also just brought it in so aggressively in that very first match today.
Absolutely. Look, it was pretty impressive to see them be able to at least pick up a few of those eliminations. It didn't quite translate into a wild amount of eliminations, but we got a quick video to just showcase while we get ready for that Miramar.
The number you've dialed is not available at present. Please try again later. No, I'm just joking. But of course, there's our prize pool breakdown as well. As we were talking about it earlier, of course, it is going to be that glorious, amazing, insane amount. And we did see the math of this yesterday, right? It comes down to 250,000 UC. That is a stark amount of UC coming through for these teams. But of course, well, speaking about UC, it is going to be time for the teams to earn their slots yet again, as we are going to be jumping straight into Miramar to see what the teams have in store for us. So without any further delays, let's hop in and see what it's going to bring in. Of course, well, that was just
back to my face?
I just had to test your reaction.
You did that on purpose.
Sure, let's go with that. Let's say let's say I did that on purpose. Actually, it was a bit of a oopsie on my side. My finger slipped, but either which way, talking about finger slips, there's going to be no opportunity for that to happen here, as we have a slightly southern flight path coming in.
Yeah, all right. So a little bit of a southern flight path. We're going to be heading all the way over towards Puerto Paraíso. So giving an opportunity for the teams who did get pretty comfortable towards those southern mountainous regions of Miramar yesterday. Now they can have a bit of a repeat as well. We'll be very curious to see. Already we see Azerbaijan, they've dropped off. They're going for their drop sites almost immediately as soon as possible. So curious to see how they're going to play this one and how they will be moving in. Because, again, if they have such a dominating performance, then I think we could pretty much be giving away that #1 slot to them with the way in which that they've been performing today alone.
I mean, I won't argue that point, because I mean, Azerbaijan, like I said, they just onto something, right? They're onto something. You want to see that. You want to see more of that continue. And of course, looking at their drop location, it's up into Chumacera, so a nice uncontested start. In the meanwhile, is going to be Team Baguette and CIS, as well as the players coming through from Prestige, holding on to that El Pozo territory. But it does seem like CIS are going to be pulling towards Ruins. Speaking about Ruins, Spain will have their start ruined a slight little smidge, as they find themselves in a bit of a vehicle altercation here. As you can see, the shots now are just trying to find their way in. It's going to be Philippines v Spain having a fist-off. Up comes the shotty, and of course Ram now just has to bring in the upset. I mean, that's unfortunate, but it would have been so exciting. And of course, in pure PUBG Mobile style, the monster truck gets stuck. But in the meanwhile, we are going to be jumping straight across over towards Impala to see what the Spaghetti Slayers and the Mavericks are going to be doing, as they've dropped a little bit hard.
That's a little bit of a change up now here. So a little bit of chaos. We always like to see some chaos happening over towards Miramar, at least. Wrangle was chaotic enough, but of course, let's bring in just a little bit more. But moving into this one, so yeah, already at least one elimination that, or 2 eliminations that will be picked up. It's unfortunate that Spain did not quite turn that one around, but in that situation, I don't know how they were supposed to. Already Mavericks also picking up a little bit of damage, but an immediate confirmation. We'll see that they just have to deal with the situation. It is going to be a 3v4 against the Spaghetti Slayers here, who are holding a very lovely 2-2 split at this point in time. You can see the crossfire that they have right up ahead of them. So Maverick in a bit of a tough situation, especially for Zero. Like, if they do step up and try and take a bit of this engagement or take a bit of a cheeky angle, well, they're just putting themselves out in the open here.
Yeah, that's definitely an opportunity. There is a chance for that to come in, but let's see what the Spaghetti Slayers are going to be bringing through. Whether or not they're going to look to stick a fork in it, or are they just going to step up and rush into this idea of Mavericks? Because for the time being, I mean, Mavericks really looking to play it a lot more cautiously. As we also see Nata there from the side of Sabratata. Getting taken out by the lovely water. The other kind of devastating blue that we have in PUBG, aside from the zone itself. In the meanwhile, we then have the Team Baguette also just going about their looting business. We can see them sitting with a glorious 57 points to their name. But Mavericks, I mean, they've only been able to secure themselves points. Sitting on 6 currently. So whatever else they can find here, I think is going to bode quite well for them.
Oh, absolutely. I also just want to take a little bit of time since we are on match number 2. We know yesterday this is when the UC codes were starting to drop like crazy. So for those of you that haven't already, make sure you get yourselves ready with that redeem link. Have all the information ready and steady so that when that UC code does drop, you are very quick to the package and hopefully you'll be the ones grabbing those UC points. But don't worry, they're going to come in quick, hot and heavy. As I say that,
Yeah.
there's the first one.
Yes.
Go quick, go fast.
Yes, the redeem link is pinned in the chat, so be sure to get your hands on that as well. That will take you right to where you need to be to redeem it. But of course, take into account, right, this is not the only broadcast where this code is shared. It is shared across, I think, 7 other broadcasts. So it is
14.
literally a fight. 14. Okay, there we go.
14.
14 other broadcasts, right? So it is going to be a fight. If you redeem the code and you get it, you are exceptionally lucky. If you don't, join the party, right? I mean, because we feel for you, because we also not even have, we also don't have the opportunity to redeem any codes. It would have been nice, but it is what it is, right?
Cheating.
I mean,
That would be cheating. We get to see them just like a little bit earlier.
no,
No. But yeah, absolutely. If you manage to actually pick up that UC code, it's about 400 UC, then let us know in chat. We would love to see who actually managed to get this one up. But already Maverick stepping on up to the plate, finding one of Spaghetti Slayers, now just needing to follow up with the other 3.
Alright, so it's now down to Levi Levi and Zero. Oh, well, Zero now needs to be the hero here, but unfortunately, it's not going to come through for the Mavericks, as they all shall fall. And of course, then the place here from the side of Garuda going to be looking to make a bit of a play towards that far southern edge. But again, a nice little bit of a casual looting going through. Fortunately, they don't have to move that far. Only about 400 meters. We can see they're not just attempting to rotate up alongside that eastern coastline. But Garuda still want to see if they are going to be looking to pick up the momentum that they've had yesterday. Because we can see on the edge there, they're sitting with 34 points to their name. I mean, a strong play. But it's all going to boil down to this match and the coming 2. So, you know, there's no time to waste. You just got to step up and get as aggressive and strategic as you can all at the same time while maintaining that balance.
Ooh, I got a little bit of good news. It looks like our stream is the lucky stream. Darren in the chat has picked up the first UC code for the day, so...
Yes.
Aha.
Yes.
Yes!
GG.
We can have like a mini competition with the other streams to
Yes.
see whose viewers are the fastest. So thank you, Darren. We already are 1 up. But be ready, as we've seen by our wonderful moderator Petra. There is 4 more UC codes just in this Miramar, so keep an eye out on your screens. But moving into this one, Azerbaijan, I'm very curious to see if they're going to be replicating that performance. And again, like I mentioned, look, if they can do it, then yes, there is almost like a first place finish in the sights for them. But it would need to be as explosive because obviously they are still currently in about 5th position. Looking at their 43 points, they still have a ways to go before they are in that number 1 slot. But I mean, 43 to 57, that's not much. So it's definitely doable, definitely in a single match of play. And they want to get themselves a good buffer. So hopefully, and I say that, hopefully be the team at the end to get them the first sweep in. Imagine, always in position up.
I mean, that would be quite a bit of a jump. Similar to the jump that we just saw come through there from KV. But... I mean, again, right, this is Miramar, so there's a lot of terrain to try and work your way through. Of course, you got a few pathways to follow like Scream was doing just there, but you can also go for a little bit more of a challenging off-road approach, also like Scream is doing right there. So, you know, this is what I love about the map. And this is because this is also the reason why this is my favorite map. Just because of, you know, all the versatility that it throws at you. But in the meanwhile, the situation continues across the board. Nordic also going to be looking to push through as they come in on that southwestern side. It does seem to be smooth sailing, at least for the time being, as we still have 15 teams and 55 players alive. But the blue zone is going to stop its closure and take us into that second stage in just a few seconds.
Yes, yes. Let's see what it's going to be giving us. I mean, it's a pretty eastern shift as what we've seen from Burma, so there is still some plenty interesting points. You know, yesterday we were asking for a little bit of that Los Leones, so I would be curious to see if it happens again this time around. But as that zone's going to be closing in, we get to see where it will be shifting. And towards the north this time around, centering around Minas Generales and Junkyard, is going to be giving a few interesting points. I mean, we have that valley with those ridge lines, you know, the Valley of Doom, right towards the center. So there could be a pretty interesting position for teams to set up potentially a little bit of an ambush. But again, just all in the vicinity, there are quite a few mountainous ranges that these teams can take a little bit of control of.
Yeah, again, terrain utilization. Or you could just do like Ramiz is doing there and, you know, maybe not try and eat your own nade. It's not advisable. It doesn't allow for a lot of continuation for your team to come through as you, of course, start to reduce those numbers. But also now, Prestige still having to try and defend the honor. Only 4 points away, holding on to that second position. So they can definitely look to make it up in this game. But will they be presented with the opportunity? Of course, as we saw the distribution of teams, there's still a lot of you know, points of interest to take occupation of. And of course, here comes Nordic. Also, I think a team to watch, right? Because as I said yesterday, Nordic is nice, as Matthias now looks to get themselves patched up. That blue zone is no one's friend, regardless of what vehicle you drive. And now Kyle, ooh, going to be looking to continue further onwards. So an interesting spread coming through from Prestige.
Interesting one. We'll see if PM is going to be the thorn in their sides. Already sending off a couple of, you know, just welcome packages in the form of some bullets, but no connections just yet. Prestige will be continuing on their way, making their way hopefully closer and closer to safety. And I mean, for the time being, it's not a bad rotation so far. Like, the fact that they haven't dropped a single player gives me enough information that this is still going to be doable for them. However, as you can see, Baguette's right up ahead of him. Piston hopefully will be swatting out a little bit of that movement and immediately backing off. We're not going to see anyone moving soon. Okay. No, it's fine. It's safe. Everyone's safe.
Yeah, and as we know, aggression begets aggression. So they chose the right name for that. So let's see now what is going to come through as we look back on towards the eastern side. As Esports Red start to dial it up. Trying to capitalize on a bit of an opportunity here. Looking for that spray angle though. Now you're still going to watch out because we did see Shanky holding on as a solo yesterday. Oh, but as we jump over to Garuda, they now facing off as we have Prestige pulling up Kyle, pushing away with that buggy. Croco about to get that confirmation locked in on them. This is a good play though. Garuda rather, going to be looking to find any points, as we said, right? They are going to be looking to defend the honor here. And now, Prestige, ooh, not too far away either.
Ooh, like to see this. Already a little bit of action pointed towards the side of Prestige. I mean, the fact that they've already dropped one member, we know in the previous match they only picked up those 3 eliminations, so the teams have definitely made sure to make it difficult here for Prestige. But again, that's not the only teams that you need to be worried about. We still have Nordic, we've got Greece, we've got, of course, the team of Baguettes, and already Greece there picking up an elimination. So on a wonderful, wonderful journey potentially to the top of the leaderboard. We can see CIS as well holding the split. Spain, they had a bit of trouble in the previous matchup, so FT would want to turn it around here, but as a duo, it's going to be tough.
Yeah, it's going to be very, very challenging, but now, Dagger going to be looking to drive that dagger into the side of Spain. Oh, and that is right on the money, as they now get wiped out in 15th. Not a single elimination to their name. Beautifully placed utility coming through. But of course, then talking about the opportunity, PTMS also now holding a bit of a vantage point onto the side here of Garuda. And I mean, Garuda, they've had the chance now to get themselves properly patched up, ready for the altercation. And now KV trying to find the spray into Invictus. But Victus definitely just utilizing this rock as best they can.
Oh, all right. Let's take a look at this Garuda. We know potential to just pick up a little bit of that pacing. We have quite a ways to go, but I don't think it's impossible. 35 points all the way up to 57. They can definitely make something happen. Even if they just climb the leaderboard, that is going to be an extra bit of UC. And hey, if they pick up the winner-winner chicken dinner, we know every single winner-winner chicken dinner in the finals weekend, aka yesterday and today, is going to be an extra 4,000 UC to add to the tally. Let's see how they turn this one around. Oh, Azerbaijan. Why do they have to pick on Sapratatata? I want to be able to say Sapratatata, but they're taking away my Sapratatata.
No, but they said it too, because they rolled up, they said sup, ratatata, and then, you know, there goes the
And then they
ratatata. Yeah, I mean, you know, but they don't use words, they use their barrels because it's PUBG. That's the way it works. But of course, as we can see, still an interesting spread. I mean, PM, they've got a nice angle towards Graveyard, at least for the time being. So it's now going to come down to what this next zone is going to present. And we are left with only 13 teams and 48 players. Those numbers are really small, but we can still read them. In the meanwhile, ooh, look at that shift though. That is going to be a glorious play towards the eastern side. We're going to see a lot of congestion coming through on that southern edge. But CIS and Philippines up north, they're going to have an easy day in the office.
Let's go. Now, Garuda. Ooh, and another UC code. So for the viewers watching, if you can hear me, there's a UC code up screen. Make sure you go and grab that as soon as possible. Get yourself some of those 400 UCs in the pocket. Hopefully you are ready with that redeem code. We want to see. And again, if you do manage to redeem it off of this stream, let us know in the chat so we can see who is a better stream. Viewers, but let us know. Garuda already taking one extra elimination, so a little bit damage dealt, but again, ooh, I don't know if they'll be able to actually get the res. PMMC is rushing for the confirmation. Meanwhile, Spaghetti Slayers in a bit of trouble here.
Oh, maybe more than a little bit of trouble, as CU now says see you to the rest of the team as the pressure is on. Elam Yo is going to be looking to just continue on alongside Nico here, looking for a bit of a setup, maybe a potential gatekeep. As Greece are getting right down to business, going to be looking to secure their third elimination. And a very effortless play going through here from Melas as Yoda gets ended. Now, still said we are left with 46 players. Halosh, oh, down they go. As PM now run straight into the side of Garuda. A lot of aggression once more finding its way through. Garuda will not let anything slide, but they are going to be looking at a very contentious western side. Still a few teams held up in the vicinity, but PMMC though. Ooh, Ramsey on point with that spray.
I'd love to see that one picking up a nice amount of damage there and just standing their ground. The Garudas will be holding this position, at least for the time being, here towards the western side. PTMS, of course, or PMTS, is going to have to just rotate out. Otherwise, they'll have some PTSD. So all these acronyms will give us enough information as they're going to be rotating off, only with a duo in tow. So hopefully they'll be able to make something happen from this. However, looking at the zone now, being closed in around 10 seconds. Have to wait and see how this one's going to shift, because we still have a few questionable positions that we could still see these teams being forced into. Greece forced into a corner, as well as Nordics laying down the law. Milas with a great flank, unfortunately, was the first to get shut down. So Greece, this is going to be a bit of a tough situation. Be able to get that recovery, it's not an option. As you can see, Nordic just confirming that one out. And even in terms of just trying to find their footing in this fight, now with that flanking position being given over to Linus, there it is.
Ooh, but Linus now just locking it in. Not going to let any eliminations pass them by. But still, they're not out of the woods, right? The rest of Greece still going to be holding steady. As you can see, Yoda now cooking up a nade, trying to see if they can maybe reach across the way, trying to prevent any future pushes coming in here. But Yoda now in such a difficult position because we got players coming in from all directions as Jetto continues to apply the angle. Maybe Linus came through with a bit of a bait and switch there, but it's not going to be an easy front to play on as we still have Antidote also holding that off angle side.
Positioning now here, just trying to take stock of what's happening in the vicinity. Ooh, a couple of bullets now being sent out as well. Nordic up close and personal. That Molly going to be making the perfect connection. So Greece will be relegated now down to only Antidote having to stand up against the onslaught that is going to be Nordic pushing into this territory. And it looks like they will just be running as far as they possibly can. But of course, lo and behold, it's going to be Spain holding that flanking position. I don't know how far they'll actually be able to get. So you can see that zone now shifting up towards the north, which does prove very difficult for Antidote because it means they do have to move through this territory if they want to be able to get to the zone.
Yep, that's going to be their only option, right? That will be the antidote to their problems at this point. Is it going to solve it? We don't know, but we'll find out soon enough. Esports Red also having to deal with a bit of a congestion here. I mean, they could maybe also try to find antidotes, but they got to be very wary though. Oh
no! Oh no!
As there's several teams just lurking all over the place. Skill shot coming through here for Esports Red. I mean, we saw a beautiful play from Esports Red kill shot yesterday as well, but now up comes the rest of the crew. Oh, Antidote with the Tommy gun. You got to be careful. Now getting pincered, and down they go.
I almost, for a moment there, I thought they could have had the answer to Esports Red, but that's unfortunately not going to be the case. It's all right. Not a bad effort. Just unfortunate that Greece will be going down with not a single elimination. So they will be settling with 50 points. Another UC code popping up on the screen. Make sure you grab that as soon as possible, and then let us know if it's actually yours. Because yes, only the first player who actually does redeem that code will be able to pick up the UC code. So first come, first serve, you gotta be quick. Make sure you've got that redeem ready. Esports Red now, off of the back of a nice little extra elimination. Ramiz now caught up in a bit of a hard place here. Nice crossfire from Nordic, and they're just going to wait for Esports Red to make their move, and then hopefully pick up a few eliminations.
Yeah, as you can see, the rest of the Esports Red team also now starting to rotate up. Ramiz trying to hold the fort, but the shots connecting in as Linus just comes through with a spray. A quick response, then also coming through from Aries here as they try to third party. Again, right, it just shows how challenging the zone is. Vanguard 1 gonna have a pretty tough time rotating through, maybe taking a bit of a more northern approach, but again, the terrain, rather, the territory, not allowing for a grand escape to come through just yet, as once they get past the side of Nordic, we do have several other teams also just holding a little bit more towards the northern edge of that territory. So we have PTMS also secured in the compounds. But Esports Red, they've got a nice rotational pathway straight forward into the zone. But if they start climbing that hill, that's where they're going to be running into a few baguettes.
And I don't think they want to baguettes that. But now Vanguard 1 moving in. See, I'm trying with the puns, but I can't. My brain doesn't quite work that way. Esports Red, as we know, already picked up with that one elimination. Now Nordic up in a bit of a rock and a hard place here, as we've seen. Just are going to be going down. Linus out in the blue as well. Not going to be an easy rotation for them whatsoever. And Vanguard 1, I mean, you would think that, you know, they're out in the blue, they're struggling, but no, they're actually in the zone. It's just they are being a little bit pummeled here. As we can see, a few of those nades now being shared. I think that one, is that a 1-3 split? So they still have all of their players, thankfully, with the reses being popped off, but they might have to sacrifice one to get the rest out.
Yeah, it's going to be a pretty tough call for Aries to get themselves out of this one. Maybe we could see a bit of that reinforcement now arriving. Well, the answer to that initial statement is going to be no, as we do see Aries, yeah, getting confirmed up as Matix moves in. But this could still be an opportunity for the rest of Vanguard. Maybe bring in a bit of an upset here as PTMS now needs to rotate their way back up that hillside. And of course, no surprise to see a bit of that gatekeep being set up right here. Also then, we do see Azerbaijan holding a little bit further towards the northern side as well. So there is, again, an opportunity for a bit of that pincer blade to come through.
Let's wait and see how this one's going to look. Oh, these health bars are looking so not healthy. And unfortunately, there's nothing Vanguard 1 can really do about it. They don't have any of the supplies necessary to redeem that, but now, as we take a look at it, Esports Red caught between a rock and a hard place. We can see this beautiful positioning now held here by Team Baguette. Center position, compound in tow, and just nades galore as they're going to be sending out a few packages to Esports Red. We do have a bit of a rotation coming through from that southern side, so there's at least potentially an opportunity here for a little bit of an upset. But so far, Team Baguette, they have just been on something else. And again, only with 2 current eliminations, but this positioning could award them everything they've been looking for.
Yep, definitely could. So the heat is going to be on. Meanwhile, it's going to be Philippines also now trying to make the most out of the terrain. Not a lot of hiding places do remain here. But up comes Cakes, cooking up the nade. They've sniffed out a little bit of some in the bush. Oh, there we go. Ramiz goes down. Esports red getting shipped out. Only the 2 eliminations to their name. Now Philippines have the opportunity to try and bounce back a little bit. Here's the sprays continue to just pummel into the side of them. Shalorna, though, absolutely aggressive. And now it turns to Cakes to see if they can have their cake and eat it. But I'm not quite sure, especially looking at the momentum that Azerbaijan are bringing in.
Very interesting position that we can see held here. Now Vanguard 1 dashing for that safety, dashing for the safety of the zone, and White Dage just comes in with a bit of a buggy play. That is insane. But ultimately, Spaghetti Slayers will be bowing out as well. Azerbaijan now being bombarded with utility, with all of the damage, as they are also having to rush for that zone. The Philippines now going to be standing in their way. There's a UC code on screen. So much chaos going down in only a matter of a few seconds.
Yes, so be sure to get into the chat, click on the link pinned in the messages, but then you can head on through, claim the code, be sure to use your player ID, otherwise, where are we going to be sending that code, right? So have that at the ready. In the meanwhile, it's going to be Zico just trying to ride their way back into the zone. Still, Azerbaijan sitting with a 3-piece already now on the double digits. As they take aim on towards AC, down goes the confirmation. Philippines down to Cakes. And this is going to be a very tough play. Now it is such a jam-packed position to hold. 5, well, scratch that, make it 4 teams. As we are left with 15 players. Baguette now looking to capitalize. Still going to be looking to play all the elevation, all the angles they have at their disposal. CIS trying to get their foothold secured, but up comes Poi. And this could maybe spell a little bit of danger now for Dagger.
A little bit of danger might be a bit of an understatement, but let's see how this one's going to translate. Up close and personal here with the Baguettes. Nades now being sent on out, and actually they're going to be focusing on his teammates. So Dagger, they might be able to close the gap. We can see Siren now moving in, and again, Azerbaijan, they don't know anything about Dagger, who's moved up closer and closer to Baguettes, and now, as you can see, the focus has been on the 3 of this 3-1 split. Oh, this is going to be a tough one. Beautiful nade onto Boy, and this could be the turnaround here for Azerbaijan.
Yeah, definitely could be. So a lot of pressure coming through onto Shalona there, but also the same amount of pressure riding on the shoulders here for Dagger, as they are looking to drive it through. Now the blue zone is going to be forcing their hand. They have to rush in onto 3. Oh, UMP beats the DBS again. Destina also feeling the pressure as Garuda look to capitalize. They got a beautiful spread. They've got the numbers to utilize. But up they come. All they're going to do is show their last bit of aggression. Look at Azerbaijan sitting on 14 elims. They've been having an absolutely insane run so far today. But with that, they find themselves at a crossroad. Down they go in 4th place, 14 elims. Destina now about to get pushed. As you can see, Old Boy rushing to the party. Oh, the sprays are there. The connections are in. The codes are appearing on screen again. Ramsey now trying to hold it steady. Of course, the audio giving a little bit of a wobble there as well. But down goes Destina. And this is Garuda now looking to capitalize and find themselves that winner chicken dinner.
Very interesting sets of circumstances that just happened. But it's ultimately going to lead us to the question mark of how this is going to spin. I mean, we just saw Baguettes go out. We saw Azerbaijan go out. So now we have to look to either Garudas or Dagger to somehow pull a win out of the hat. And I mean, in a 3-1 scenario with no meds, you can see that health bar so well and low. This is not going to be easy by any means necessary.
Well, now it's going to be that final stand for Dagger to try and defend as they are going to get rushed. A 1v3 indeed. Oh, Dagger finds the first. Takes quite a bit of a blow to the health bar.
Run.
And all they've got left is just a few boosts. Of course, well, when in danger, throw a pan, because maybe that can help you. KV now could get jumped. No, well, at least a quick reload comes through. The jump is there. Dagger! Oh! tries to pull off an insane move, but unfortunately, the chicken dinner is going to go to the side there of Garuda, who do claim the victory, 22 points in tow.
Yeah, that was looking a little bit scary. I'm glad they had a secondary weapon there because their UMP only had 20 bullets left in completion, so that was terrifying. But Garuda picking up another 22 to add to the tally. Gorgeous, gorgeous finish there by them. And again, Azerbaijan, even though they're not making as a loud of a statement, they are still in contention, picking up 14 eliminations, so that will be massive on the overall standings. Team Baguette, CIS Esports, all making a wonderful appearance with those double digits, so not a bad showing whatsoever. The overall rankings are still going to be a bit of a question mark for me, but at least in terms of our match rankings, we saw a little bit of a healthier spread when compared to a wrangle.
Yeah, I mean, it is a healthier spread indeed. But again, looking at the second page, we do find a few teams, unfortunately, not finding themselves any points. Super Ratata going to be one of those. And Prestige, I mean, a little bit of a downfall based on the insane performance we saw come through from them just yesterday. It seems like they're having a little bit of that performance anxiety, let's call it that, right, coming through for today. So let's hope to see if there's going to be that opportunity for a bounce. But in the meanwhile, I do think that the players from Baguette, I mean, we did see them take a bit of a lead. And I think it might be safe to say that, at least for the time being, they might still be holding on to that. Of course, we are going to be venturing into those overall rankings pretty soon. But in the meanwhile, our MVP of this match is going to be none other than Ramsey, coming through with 1100 damage, 6 eliminations, and a healthy dose of average survival time.
Yeah, wow. Okay, only one elimination less than what we saw from our previous MVP. So, absolutely just picking up the pacing. And again, it's good to see Garuda picking up a lot more points, especially considering what a good start they had yesterday. And then it got a bit quiet towards the end of the day. So, glad to see them back in the action seat. And hopefully, this won't be the last that we hear of them. As we know, only 2 more matches. So we are officially at the halfway marker between the beginning of the day and the end of this entire tournament, which is wild to think about, as we only have those 2 more matches left. Moving on to matches like Sandhawk and Vikendi, I think we should be expecting a lot more chaos. So for the teams now, it has been about setting down a foundation, putting themselves in a good standing so that, moving into these last 2 matches, come the chaos that will be coming, they hopefully have a good enough foundation to get themselves closer to that number 1 slot.
Yeah, that is what we are going to be looking to see here, though. But it is closing up, especially looking at the top 6, right? We start Nordic off with 50 points, Greece sitting on exactly the same amount of points. But then we can see Prestige, Garuda, the rest of the squads just ahead of them. Only 17 points currently separating Baguette from Nordic. So the heat is going to be on, right? Of course, Baguette's players also coming through with their representation there. As we can see, 38 points, 8 points ahead of that. Ahead of what we can see coming through from the Philippines. And of course, with that, my English running a little bit low here, but I guess it is what it is, as we are going to be taking a look at that second page.
There we go. So, yeah, I mean, in terms of what we saw just in this previous matchup, we definitely saw a bit of a better resurgence from PTMS. Good to see that one coming through. Dagger held out as long as they possibly could, but unfortunately, that's all they were able to do in that 1v3 scenario. At least the extra placements will help CIS Esports, but there is still a long way for them to go if they want to get themselves to that first page. And yeah, I mean, for the teams towards the bottom of the standings, at least they are here showcasing why they made it to the finals. And I would like to see a little bit more from them moving into these last 2 matchups, so we'll definitely be keeping an eye on them.
Oh, yes, and of course, well, as we know, looking at the overall standings, we are going to be hopping into those replays, so let's enjoy these. And of course, we'll be back right after the replays and a bit of a break, moving into our third match of the day, which is going to be none other than the lovely Salog, as you can see on the side there. So, yeah, we'll see you guys in a short moment. What's up, guys? As you can see, the flight path has started. The plane is there. So without any further delay, right? Yes. Let's get in. Let's see what the flight path is going to be bringing through as our teams are getting ready to drop. Of course, Sandhawk flight path doesn't matter, right? It's all going to be down to what the first zone is going to be bringing in. Of course, already from the teams that have that are pretty close to the ground, we don't see any major concerns. No major hot drops coming through just yet. But now, we wait to see what that zone is going to bring, and maybe if there is going to be a few problems, right, with regards to those rotations to come in. We do see the players from, Nordic, part of Nordic, and the players from the Spaghetti Slayers moving towards that eastern side, so there could be a little bit of a congestion. Well, that's not the, yeah, who's that, though? No, that's not, oh, it's the Mavericks. All right, the M looked like an N for a second there, but the first blood has been drawn. And Spaghetti Slayers now getting a little bit of that extra tomato sauce on their pasta.
Well, all right. So we immediately say goodbye to at least one of the Vanguard 1 players. Sorry, you joined it, and yeah, it was pretty unfortunate. But as we take a look at it, Maverick still in a bit of a troubling situation. Spaghetti Slayers already found that one knock, looking for the confirmation to the rest. So a little bit of time will tell to see if we do actually get a bit of resurgence from the Mavericks, or if they will just have to say goodbye to a few of their teammates.
Yeah, 100%. It's all we can do, right? All we can do is wait at this point. So now it is Munib and Zero that are going to be looking to bring in a little bit of a defensive angle here. I mean, not much of a position to really work with, as Mavericks already feeling a little bit of that blow being dealt to them. But as we can see, of course, then the Spaghetti Slayers now coming in with a beautiful flank as Homast and CU now move in behind them. This is a beautiful pincer strategy.
Interesting situation that they're going to be finding themselves in. CU just picking the right time is going to be the only potential caveat to this plan. So as we take and wait for this opportunity, Mavericks, they're also just trying to dissect this situation. See Sapratata out in the open. Confirmation over towards Ali should be there. There we go. Nothing even to be done. But again, CU doesn't want to make noise or make their presence known just yet, because then all that Maverick is going to do is hunker down, right? They're not going to be peeking if they know that there's a flanking angle coming through to their position. But we do see at least one of the players coming through, and they will be the chosen ones to make all the noise this time around.
Yeah, but look to the north. Look to the north. We've got another team sneaking in. Ooh! Yeah, as soon as that nade went off, you can just see that player looking, whoop! What's going on here? Let's investigate. And this is where the whole situation could potentially turn on its head. Is that PM behind them? Ooh, no! It is PTMS moving through as Matix feels that aggression now getting dialed up. I mean, this is where the whole sneak attempt that they look to bring in got it played onto them, but instead, PTMS get eliminated. I mean, the Spaghetti Slayers holding down the fort. Wow. I mean, that was that was completely unexpected, but what a play, though. And, of course, now Maverick, they know exactly what is coming through, so let's see how this one is going to play out. Maybe Spaghetti Slayers can still get the jump in, but of course now Sub-Ratata also going to be looking for a bit of a third-party play onto this exact same situation.
It'll be an interesting situation now. As you can see, those 15 seconds will be providing the opportunity for the zone to close on in and for some decisions to be made for some of these teammates. But, yeah, look, it's Sandhawk, so rotations are not going to be too hard. What is going to be difficult, though, is this whole situation. Mavericks caught in the middle between the Spaghetti Slayers and Sabratata, but there we go. Nico actually going to be finding the perfect angle over towards Tornado, and an immediate confirmation will at least give them some breathing room, at least towards at one of the sides that they can rotate out here. However, pressure still on the Mavericks. How they will be able to get themselves out of this situation, I don't know. I can't see a way, in all honesty.
Yeah, it's going to be an interesting one. There's no arguing that. Yes. Speaking about interesting, you see on the screen, so be sure to get it. As we know, we are competing with 14 other streams for those UC codes. And Munib now also going to be competing against the onslaught coming through as the Spaghetti Slayers lay waste to one more player. And now it comes down to Zero, who's going to be looking to keep it nice and steady, just sneaking their way on through the exterior of this building. But Hamas gets the confo. One down, one more to go. Oh, S12K versus DBS. Unfortunately, DBS is going to reign supreme. And with that, the Mavericks get taken out in 15th.
Bye-bye. Unfortunate situation that we do see, but hey, it was a tough situation to start with, so the fact that they even managed to get any sort of knocks in that whole situation was kudos to them. That's all I'm going to say. Moving on to this, the team Baguettes currently leading the pack, leading the charge for the #1 position and showing some drifting skills. Very nice, very nice, very nice. But rotations now are going to mean a lot more for them. Every single mistake is going to be giving an opportunity to the team of Azerbaijan to catch up. Only 6 points away from each other, so they need to be careful. And Zapratata is going to be saying hello, how you do, to the Spaghetti Slayers.
Ooh, but the Spaghetti Slayers, they've got a good answer as they already... Wow. Sit on 9 elims. Okay, well, it's no surprise because, you know, they were served quite a few players. Several teams moving up onto them. But now Nordic also going to be looking to make a bit of a play here as they start rotating up. We got Prestige just off in the distance as they move into the intersection. And this is just towards that eastern side of the lovely boot camp, right? So if you go down that road, you'll make it up into boot camp eventually. It's not that far. But again, the positions... It's going to be absolutely essential here because nothing is sorted as we've seen these upsets. I mean, the players from Azerbaijan, they played an insane first 2 matches, locking in double-digit elims on both games. But will they be able to maintain this consistency because they're only 6 points away from Team Baguette?
Only 6 points away, so this is going to be quite a bit of an interesting one. Again, like I said, every single mistake or any sort of decision that Baguette's going to be making from this point onwards is immediately going to be reflecting on those overall standings, whether they go well, whether they don't go well. Hopefully for the Baguettes, they can start to build a buffer in the Sandhawk match to give them some breathing room, at least moving into Vikendi. Because I would argue that Vikendi is going to be a lot more chaotic than what we see on Sandhawk, especially with the way in which we saw those zone rotations yesterday. I mean, what we thought was going to happen just got thrown out the window. So the teams have to plan for that. Like we said, they had to get themselves a good foundation. And Sandhawk could technically still be that foundation if you play your cards right. But it's going to be pretty difficult. We can see a couple of rotations now moving in. I'm also going to be keeping a heavy eye on Garuda because of that extra momentum that they get from the previous match. Maybe that filters into this one and we see them going for that #1 slot.
Ooh. I mean, that could be an upset. Right, that opportunity is definitely available to them because they are trailing by only 9 points. But as we look onto the players of Garuda, we can see them situated down towards that quarry side. So with the zone about to be decided yet again, this will reveal whether or not that position is going to suffice. And it does seem to be the situation as it does center up slightly towards bootcamp, but very much so onto the side there of Philippines.
Yes, okay. Going to be an interesting situation. Nordic, they also have some pretty interesting opportunities up ahead of them. We saw them jumping up into quite an aggressive showing on the previous matchup, and I thought it was going to go a different way. Where they currently sit, they're only 17 points away, so this is all possible numbers. Again, 2 more matches left for the day. I mean, even if you just get half here, half into the next matchup, as long as France or any of the other teams up ahead of them don't do anything too wild, then they can still catch up. But Team Baguette, I don't know. I feel like they're brewing a little bit of a sneaky plan here.
I wouldn't be surprised, right? Based on the performance that we've seen come through from the previous days, I think that is definitely an opportunity. I see a question coming through with regards to the code redemption. So if it gives you any error, it means the code has already been redeemed, as we mentioned before. This is not the only broadcast. There are 14 others. So that one code is being shared on 14 or 15 streams. So, yeah, it's literally down to fastest fingers first, right? So there is quite a bit of a competition to see who's going to be the one to get that code redeemed. Speaking about competition, though, we jump back over to the players here from Garuda, who are occupying this intersection, waiting for a bit of a potential opportunity maybe to find its way over towards them. And of course, this is just on the outskirts here of bootcamp. A very interesting compound to hold as they have a nice bit of access to those bootcamp hills. but also a good rotational pathway should they look to do that, and that is exactly what they are going for as they are starting to venture a little bit further up towards the north.
All right. So let's take a look and see how this one's going to be turning out. Already Garuda, nice little bit of a position and compound for them to hold on to. You can see the Philippines just up on the hilltop, so they can rotate down to the situation pretty easily. But as we can see, thank you for this observation. Azerbaijan very close to them in terms of the opposite end there. So they're not really going to want to make any sort of moves just yet, more so just to get a little bit of information as to how that zone is going to be shifting, which should be closing in a little bit more time. Ooh, Vanguard 1 going to be dashing across that bridge line. Greece just not in, like, just in a nick of time. Basically, if they were there like another second earlier, then there could have been something said for it. But just by a second, by a hair, by a thread, Vanguard 1 will continue on.
Yeah, and just as you said, a very, very close call coming through there. But now it's going to be a little bit of that duck, duck, go, as Vanguard are going to be holding to a bit of a gatekeep towards the bridge. Meanwhile, CIS moving through just south of another team, doing their due diligence here, ensuring they've got a little bit of loot. But with Killshot hanging in the wing, this could be a beautiful setup now for Esports Red. I guess to see whether or not they're going to try and capitalize on the opportunity here. Again, they've got to show a lot of that trigger discipline, because you make too much noise, especially looking at the position here towards Bootcamp Hills. I mean, it's not going to be such an easily defendable angle, especially when the teams start to move forward.
Right, let's see what's going to happen here. CIS Esports. Yeah, look, it's going to be a bit of a tough one for them to climb up. But as we said, even if you're not going to be grabbing that first place position, you're still going to be getting yourself up on the overall leaderboard, which means a little bit extra UC, maybe even a little bit of those bragging, points. But we'll see how much they can make happen in this one. So nice little bit of an overview of the zone that we currently have. As we wait to see where it's going to be shifting, there are quite a few places here that if it does go, let's say, as an example, towards the west, it's going to cut off a lot of the open area and availability for the teams. So let's hope they get a bit of an easier one. There it is, towards the south. So Bootcamp still in play, Quarry still in play, a little bit of Pine Nun still in play, and a few of those scattered out compounds. So definitely a lot of cover still available for the teams to take a hold of.
Yeah, and of course, speaking about getting a hold of, there is the code being revealed on screen yet again, so be sure to get your fingers on that as quick, fast as you can. Also ensure that you type in the code correctly, right? So it's CKQO, right? That is an O, not a 0. If it was a 0, it would have a line through it. So be sure that you enter the code correctly, otherwise you are going to be running into a few problems. And I mean, Greece, they're going to be looking to evade the problems at this point, as they are, not going to be pushing straight across the bridge. Instead, just looking to filter on through, but up comes, Melas with a bit of an emboldened play. But fortunately, Antidote there to provide that much-needed coverage.
Very nice indeed. So, yeah, no, there's a plethora of opportunities here. In terms of, again, like we said, the zone's still going to be allowing a lot of hard cover that they can actually take a look at. So if they can get early to those positions, they can get themselves nicely set up. You can see Spain already taking a bit of a hit here against the Spaghetti Slayers. So they're going to have a bit of a troubling time. They don't want to stop just here because they've had such a good run. But now it looks like Spain might be the ones to put a stop in their tracks.
Oh, come on, Elam Yo, trying to lock it in. Now, Nico. Oh, the shots are coming through from Siren. Azerbaijan coming through with the upset. Spain getting caught in quite a predicament here. Nordic also going to be applying a little of that pressure. We got 4 squads, maybe even 5 squads now, fighting for contention here, fighting for possession. Kazu with a beautiful knock on towards Morco there. Matthias, quick response, but see you. I'm trying to get down on their belly, right? Trying to ride out the storm as best they can. Of course, that blue zone is going to start closing up in just over a minute. So whatever Nordic can get done here, I mean, this could be that pressing time.
Let's take a look at it. Spaghetti Slayers now a bit of a rotation. At least they did manage to keep the duo running. We'll see how much more points they're going to be able to pick up just as only a duo. So far, duos have been doing some interesting things today. I wouldn't count them out just yet, but I was about to count out at least one of the members here of Team Baguettes if Risa just got that final little bit of a hit in. So I think Skype will also be a little bit shocked at that one and be taking a little bit of time just to get the meds back up and get the health bars ready and steady for the rest of this engagement. Now, Team PM, unfortunately, losing out on a potential 1 elimination. Sky still needs to get out of this position, though. Maybe their teammates might be able to give them that extra bit of cover. With another knock over towards PM, there's definitely an opportunity here to get out.
Yeah, but they're not going to necessarily look to disengage just yet. Still just going to be looking for a bit of an opportunity. Rissa now getting met with a few shots here. PM also having a very tough time. But Baguette still holding with that 3-piece. Trying to read and reassess this whole situation. As maybe an angle playing more towards that center zone could play more in their favor, but they are going to have to contest with the players from Greece currently locking it down. And now the blue zone doing its thing here is going to make it exceptionally challenging for PM, but fortunately, they don't have to rotate that far to get themselves back into that next safe area. As you can see, just a slight move up towards the northeastern side, but Esports Red CIS, I think they are going to be the decisive rotators at this point.
See, Nordic, they've moved on into the situation. They unfortunately were a little bit too late to actually get a few extra eliminations out from under them. But you can see Team Baguettes, they've already rotated up onto that hill line. And I would be a little bit worried as to how Nordic are actually going to handle the situation. Because as you can see, right up ahead of them, Spaghetti Slayers duo to the right. PM, of course, right up ahead of them immediately here to the left-hand side. And rotations to either side are going to be difficult, especially with the overarching threat that is going to be Team Baguettes potentially reaching in and taking a few other shots at them. So we'll have to wait. See, Nordic might just have to wait this one out and play with the edge of the zone. PM looking like they're taking a very similar approach as well. They're slowly stepping up to that hill line. As we mentioned it, Team Baguette already reaching in, saying hello to Linus. Spaghetti. For the time being, they haven't jumped into the action just yet. Another UC code on screen, so make sure you go and grab those UC points. As we said, be careful on how you type it, otherwise someone else might be able to steal it out from under you. And if you do manage to claim it, let us know. Darren was one of the first ones to claim it today. Let's see if you'll be joining Darren and celebrating with an extra UC in the pocket.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. In the meanwhile, it's going to be Crocker and the rest of the team now also looking for a little bit of that continuation. Meanwhile, CIS, oh, up they come, rushing straight on through. No, there we have it. PM getting shipped out. 12th place, 1 Elam up. Baguette's also going to be keeping a little bit of a gatekeep angle here. And this could be a nice bit of an upset. As CIS already securing themselves 3 eliminations. I mean, being right up there with the elimination leaders. Well, pretty much tied with the side of Nordic. But let's see. Is this going to swing now in favor of Team Baguette? Or will we have CIS bounce back and send them out early?
Okay. Alright, let's see what's going to happen here. Oh, okay. So, I mean, taking stock of some of the points that we have available, right? Team Baguette's up with 68, 6 points behind them. Make that 5 points, thank you. Behind them, it's going to be Team Azerbaijan. So they are slowly but surely catching up. Baguette's here, they cannot let this one slide. Prestige in a similar situation, but Shalona is just going to be sending in a few lovely, lovely hits. Philippines there, just to get the confirmation as well. Very curious to see what CIS is going to do in this situation. You can see just slowly inching up this hilltop, and it's not going to be easy, especially with that zone heading all the way to the north. But this is going to be great news for the side of Azerbaijan and, of course, the Philippines. We do say goodbye to, it looks like, Prestige. That's going to be a bit of a tough one, but still plenty more opportunities left.
Yeah, I mean, this is definitely an opportunity for Azerbaijan to bring in the capitalization, to really get the position under lockdown. I mean, especially also then with Philippines sharing that region with them, the control of the zone, they can definitely go out and start farming for some eliminations. In the meanwhile, there's going to be the players here from Team Baguette looking to see if they can maybe stop CIS in their rotational pathway. Meanwhile, CIS, they're not going to stick around. They're going to be pushing towards the zone, but they might run into a few obstacles. As we can see, the Spaghetti Slayers adopting the exact same strategy. Everyone are going to be rushing forward, looking to get themselves situated, and this is where we are going to be having an insane amount of carnage now just boiling over as all the spaghetti slayers get caught out. Azerbaijan farming yet again.
Oh, let's see those points get picked up. Oh, look at the 67 already. Only 2 points away from the side of Team Baguette, and Team Baguette already feeling a little bit of the pressure. You can see that damage now being dealt. Knocks coming through. Nordic now moving on up to Azerbaijan, so potentially there might be an answer to this aggression they've been bringing in.
Well, the answer has been driven in. Now Nordic waiting nice and steadily here. Of course, up comes a single tap from
Wow.
Azerbaijan
Okay. That way.
to close it right there. Zico with the DBS. Destina and the rest of Team Baguette are going to be still trying their utmost to get themselves situated. Of course, Melas and Greece not going to be backing off of the opportunity here. Trying to make the most of the 2 players they have left in this game. You can see exactly the same going through for the side there of Team Baguette. I mean, Destina looking to see if Skyte will make it in safely to pull their res off, because time is limited, right? The clock is going to run out. And as we know, in stage 6, the blue zone is no one's friend. It is going to be absolutely devastating. And Zeus now experiencing that firsthand.
Oof, yeah, this is going to be a bit of a tough one. You can see with that. I don't know necessarily what the duo of Team Baguette are going to be doing, nor what the likes of Philippines are going to be doing, as it is all resting on the shoulders of Ram. An immediate turnaround here from Garuda is going to spell disaster potentially here for the Philippines. But we'll have to wait and see. Maybe Ram can make something happen here. Codex still going to be knocked, so there's not that confirmation just yet. Time is of the essence. Ramsey going to be sending in a bit of a helping utility, and almost immediately we say goodbye to the Philippines. But ultimately, we still have 5 more teams to take a look at here. Azerbaijan, 75 points up with their 14 eliminations and another UC code up on screen. So make sure you go grab that as soon as possible and let us know in chat if you manage to get it. Oh, okay. And goodbye, Greece. Okay, top 4 teams. Here we go.
Yeah, speaking about goodbye, that is exactly what happened to Greece on that one. But look at those elims, though. Azerbaijan, I mean, there's got to be something in the water that is just allowing this insane level of play. So this is absolutely phenomenal to witness here as these teams keep on bringing upsets all over the place. CIS going to be trying to pull off a bit of a heal strat here. Aquaman going to be running out of time very, very soon. As we know, due to the changes brought into the game, the heal strat is not really something that is going to be all too sensible anymore. But either which way, Azerbaijan are trying to get the zone under lockdown. Still have a little bit of pushing to do. Ooh, Destina though gets confirmed. Out goes Baguette. And now it's going to be that rush. But still, there is a great opportunity for the upset, because looking at Garuda's angle here, they can definitely look to capitalize on the ridge they have within that pond.
Ooh. Well, it's going to be all down to Garuda now, and they're going to be doing this in a 2v4 manner with another UC code up screen. Make sure you catch that, and let's see who's going to be the team catching that winner chicken dinner. Ramsey goes down almost immediately. So we have our answer. Azerbaijan. What is happening? I mean, we went from 29 points in the first matchup to another winner chicken dinner, and they do it with 27.
Wow.
27?
Wow.
Are you kidding me?
I mean, this is insane, right? Azerbaijan absolutely just melting the screen here with the level of eliminations that they've been able to find today. Insane rampage. Of course, you got to give it to the side of the Spaghetti Slayers as well, walking away with 9 elims up. Unfortunately, not finding any placement points, but still, I mean, it's still worth the effort, because it does stack up at the end of the day. But it's going to be a race to see who's going to be claiming that pole position. Azerbaijan also then securing themselves an additional 4,000 UC just on that chicken itself. And, I mean, PTMS, Mavericks, unfortunately, going to get sent back empty-handed.
Well, they can go to the donut shop and get themselves a donut. So, I mean, it's not completely empty-handed, but yeah, definitely not the way that they would have wanted to roll down with this one. Yeah, this is getting tough. One more map left. One more opportunity for these wonderful, wonderful moderators to get themselves some much-needed points, hopefully to be able to climb those overall standings. But yeah, we'll get into that a little bit a while longer. In the meantime, we can take a look as well at the MVP. So, I mean, we've already had some pretty impressive stats so far. I think the most eliminations we've had for our MVP was 7, so we'll have to wait and see if that actually gets topped this time around.
Ooh.
Oh!
Yes, it is. It's going to be
Shalona.
Shalona. Hey, coming in there with a glorious 8 elims, nearly 600 damage, and of course, a healthy dose of survival time on that one. But again, right, this is the kind of thing that we see here. A little bit of that elim ceiling being the situation as the players just look to capitalize on all the available opportunities, right? I mean, it's insane though. But Sanok is a map that allows for a lot of aggression. We can't say that Azerbaijan brought a lot of aggression because they've been consistently aggressive right out of the gate. So, you know, they were just doing their thing as they've been doing all along. But I think it's time also then for a look at that overall standings to see how everything has impacted the plays. Azerbaijan up to 88 points.
Ooh. Ooh. All right, so yeah, this definitely is going to be throwing a swing in things. Look, I have to remind the viewers, right? When we started the day, Azerbaijan was sitting on 14 points in 10th position. So yeah, just let that one soak in. But yeah, moving towards the rest of the teams, Team Baguette still in 2nd place. Garuda team up to 3rd. Greece down to 4. Prestige, ooh, bit of a big drop there, all the way from 1st down to 5th. And they haven't had much success so far. They've only picked up 5 points today.
Yeah, it's a tough one. I mean, looking at especially that runway performance coming through from Azerbaijan, it's no surprise to see the rest of the board lacking in a few points. But maybe Mavericks, Sabratata can maybe bring in their final few plays. I mean, Mavericks only with 6 elims. That's it. That's all they've got to their name. So let's hope that today is going to be that opportunity, at least in the remaining match of the day, right? A little bit of that Vikendi action. Let's hope that that is the chance for them to secure a few more points. And of course, as we know, moving up, that is where you also get more UC. But from 10th to 16th, it's the same distribution. So only when you get up towards 9th, that's where you really start seeing a bit of a change come through.
Very, very interesting from what we've seen so far. But of course, we know a lot of those highlights now coming through, and then we'll be right back shortly after that. And DK, I can tell you now, that last match is going to be wild. So these viewers, they better not skip out.
All right, so we're gonna have to cut that jam short, even though it was an absolute smash hit it's a treffer, right? That's what we'll call it. But of course, speaking of which, it is time for us to head in game to see what Vikendi is gonna be bringing through. And so, without any further delay, let's get right down to business as we make our way in. Of course, the flight path leading heavily towards that southern edge. So this is going to be an interesting one. But as we know, Vikendi always loves to be very, very unpredictable. So the zone shift can still take us essentially in any which direction.
Yeah, boy, yeah. So yeah, this is gonna be a bit of an interesting one. Very southern flight path, and we've seen a little bit of something similar, especially over towards Murmur. We had a very southern flight path, and then just yeah, north, 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 north all the way. Or was that? I think that no, that was a Wrangle. That was even worse. So yeah, let's see how Vikendi is gonna change this one around. At least it's not as large as a Wrangle, so you know it's like a trade-off, but there's still going to be some plenty plethoras of wild rotations that we have to see happen. Baguette's over towards Winery, so they're going to be quite comfortable. We've got the likes of Garuda all the way down towards that coastline. We got Azerbaijan, the team that we're all going to be focusing on over towards Hot Springs. So now, as we know, moving into this one, they are going to be currently leading the pack, but it'll be up to our second and down teams to make something happen to see if they can potentially take that seat away from Azerbaijan. But I mean, just the story alone, the fact that they jumped up from 10th place all the way to first, I feel like they deserve it, man.
Yeah.
They put in the work.
Yeah. Yeah. And I mean, they definitely, regardless of the outcome of today, I think they have a lot of bragging rights, saying that they've been able to pull off what they've pulled off. I mean, it is absolutely phenomenal to witness. But speaking about phenomenal, we are getting right down to business as PTMS and Prestige started with a bit of an exchange. Already
Ooh,
PTMS,
okay.
2 players knocked. Ooh, the confirmation is in. There is our first blood. Unfortunately, it is going to be Croco to get it in. Now, Victor's not going to be here for the remainder of the match, but up comes the push. Oh, Piston kicks him to the curb, and that is PTMS right out of here.
Bye-bye. That was unfortunate, but Prestige Gaming, they're up to something else. So, I mean, 3 eliminations for them right off the bat. Like I said, it's been a bit of a tough fight for them today. They've only so far picked up 5 points from yesterday's performances, but with those extra 3 eliminations, it's not looking too bad. However, as we can see on these overall standings, they still have quite a ways away if they want to try and climb the leaderboard. I mean, from their current position all the way up to Garuda, who's sitting in 3rd place. Yeah, another 10 points, please, if you want to make that one happen. So we'll have to wait and see what else is going to be brought for them onto this Vikendi matchup. Azerbaijan in a similar situation. Again, if they continue this reign of terror that they brought in today, I don't know how Team Baguette is going to be able to catch up.
Yeah, it's going to be a pretty tough one. So I think the ideal here would be for someone to maybe apply a bit of pressure onto the side of Azerbaijan. But essentially, based on the performance that we've seen so far, it's going to be one of the teams sitting next to them on that leaderboard, right, to try and pull off a maneuver like that. But that could also be a very costly play to try and make at this point. So I think the teams are maybe going to be opting for a little bit more of a cautious strategy this time around. Not necessarily looking to risk it all just yet, right? You want to play for that survivability. And speaking of which, there is the UC code. So go survive yourself into some 400 UC. It is down to fastest fingers first, right? So if it gives some kind of error or it says it's already been claimed, well, that's because that's exactly what has happened.
So you have to be pretty quick with that one. So you can open up that link in the meantime. Make sure all of the other information is entered in so that when that code does come through the next time, you'll be ready to just type it in and hopefully you'll be able to claim it up. But hey, taking a look at this, still 4 more codes left for our wonderful viewers. And of course, still a whole lot of a candy left here for the teams before we decide who's going to be that champion of the PUBG Mobile Moderators Challenge of Season 2. So, still plenty to play for. But looking at this now, we saw Spaghetti Slayers being quite quite dominating to up to a point. Ultimately, before those rotations came into play and we saw a little bit of that pincer happening, I was pretty impressed with how they were handling themselves. So I would definitely like to see a little bit more from them coming into this matchup. I mean, they're just behind Nordic at the moment with about 5 points separating them and Nordic. So if they make something happen, maybe they can at least just jump like another sneaky 1 position, maybe even 2 positions in this last matchup.
Yeah, I mean, if you take the 5 points and you add 1, that is exactly the gap that we have there. So it's close. I mean, it's really, really close. 6 points. It's just a little bit of a showing going through from either of them. But in the meanwhile, it's still going to be up to where these rotations are going to lead towards, right? Spain also going to be keeping it nice and quiet. They don't want to be serving anyone any elims, right? Instead, they want to see how long they can survive here. But of course, the lovely, lovely Vikendi that we have is going to be allowing a lot of these very sweaty performances to come through. But I got to say, I'm quite impressed looking at how these moderators have been playing. I mean, a lot of, and this is what we were talking about yesterday as well. As you can see, obviously they watch a lot of PUBG as well, right? So a lot of that influence has started to trickle through because, I mean, sure, they are not pro players, but I mean, with a bit more practice, I mean, they could definitely look to get into it.
Honestly, I was caught off guard completely. So, yeah, if you just blindfolded me and you were like, "Look at this PUBG Mobile, look at it, look at it."
I've got
I've
got a question. If I blindfold you, how are you gonna see this?
Oh well, if you like, hide all of the other information and
Okay.
don't tell me what I'm looking at. Just show me some games, which is a form of blindfolding.
Yeah.
In the metaphorical sense. Why do you make? Anyway, but if you just showed me the gameplay, I would be like, yeah, no, these are some pretty impressive players. I definitely cannot play like this. So
yeah,
that says a lot already. Anyway, moving on. Moderators, you're great. Thank you so much. But let's see what's going to happen here now with the Philippines and Nordic. Now, a bit of a rotation has meant that Philippines, well, yeah, look, they still have zone. They still have a good position here. But it's going to be pretty tough for them now to actually pick up some much-needed eliminations, especially for the Philippines. I want to see, I don't know, them make something magical happen here.
I'm on board. I am on board with that. So let's see if AC is going to ace up their sleeves as they have a bit of an opportunity towards the side of Nordic. Already the shots raining down as Cakes locks it up. Oh, Philippines, though, coming through with the upsets. And this widespread that now you're looking to utilize is seeming to pay off at this point. Jetson are having to try and defend as Philippines come knocking on the door, knocking on the boulder, whichever way you want to call it. But it is going to be a very aggressive trade. Again, those shotties coming through. But fortunately, Chero just securing the sprays for the time being. But this now opens up the opportunity for AC and Bonacakes to sneak in and maybe put an end to them.
Oh, it's going to be an interesting one. Nordic already making a bit of a statement. Ram going down. We know Ram was the last pillar here for Philippines in the previous matchup. But now, well, that burden has been shared. Lacey now up as the last member here for Philippines. And they just want to run away. And I don't blame them. However, it's going to come down to time. You can see Esports Red up, right up ahead of them. We'll see if they're going to be peeking across those lines. Or if Lacey could potentially get themselves out into safety. This is a run to freedom, and I don't know how safe this was going to be.
It's going to be a tough one because you can only run so far. Then you meet water at the end of the map. So good luck with that one. But fortunately, the zone is going to start closing up as well. So we are going to be seeing the teams getting forced closer and closer together. Now it is going to be Linus sending that pan out, ending it there for Cakes. But AC now could be running into Shanky and the rest of the team going through from Esports Red. I don't know if they are aware of the players situated just in front of them, but I mean, going from that one situation into another, rotating from that widespread approach into a very contested and congested 1v4, this could potentially be Esports Red now locking it in. Oh, yep.
Oh!
Ramiz with a beautifully timed nade.
That hurt. That hurt a lot. Yeesh. Okay. Yeah, I have no words other than I am so sorry, AC. That was rough. My goodness gracious. But we move on. It's okay. Well, I recovered from that. We can take a look at how these rotations are going to be running. So Vanguard 1 and of course the Spaghetti Slayers all the way out to the northwestern side having to make a massive rotation in. They haven't even reached Mount Kresnik, so yeah, this is going to be a bit of a run for them. In the meanwhile, there's a UC code to keep you guessing. Right up on the screen, you can get that one typed in, and hopefully you might be the ones to pick up that 400 UC. So please, get typing, quick, fast, be quick, be fast, be speedy. While we take a look at this rotation is going to be the name of the game. Greece also going to be rotating right up ahead of Sabratatata, who only are here as a duo. What happened?
I mean, maybe the one Ratata got, upgraded to Eradicate, but in the meanwhile, it's going to be Croco here from the side of Prestige, trying to bring in a bit of a response to the rotation coming through from Spain. As we got No just pushing in here, Blue and the rest of the squad getting ready for a bit of aggression, but Spain trying to get a bit of a footing up into this next circle. Croco finds the opening, and this could be quite a bit of devastation now being dealt by Prestige.
Oh, yes, indeed. Spain under a bit of trouble here. Another utility being sent out. Croco looking for a little bit of that burn damage just to help out in the situation. But Spain down to only 3. A little bit of shots coming through now from none other than Blue. Fantastic flanking position here. Piston going to be running to try and provide that cover, but it might be all for naught. We'll see. Spain now looking for that recovery. They have all 4 of their players back up on their feet. Now it might just be a matter of time. However, Prestige Gaming doesn't look like they're going to be done anytime soon.
Yeah, they're not going to be settling just yet. Instead, Akaron could maybe sneak on up, as I like the strategy coming through from Spain, just trying to wrap their way around the block. And oh, they find several hits now, just laying into the side of Prestige. Gazu trying to capitalize on an absolute rampage, going while the adrenaline is just surging all over the place. But now, Prestige reduced down to, well, a 3-piece. Potentially 2, depending on whether or not they can get that res in, as Croco now bites the dust, right? It's up to Delphine and Kyle to hold it steady. The 3-1 push coming in. You got to watch out for those headshots. Of course, the utility getting sent in as well, looking for the opener, the continuation. As Kyle just dancing around all the flames and everything just blowing up alongside them. But I love this momentum that Spain is coming in here. I mean, where was the Spain in the previous matches, right? We want to see more of this action just being brought on through. Oh, Gazu! Unfortunately, Kyle gets the upper hand. Down goes the confirmation. And now, Spain back on a 2-piece.
I agree with you. I wish I would have seen the Spain much earlier in the other matches, but I guess better late than never. So, Spain showcasing some of their prowess. Kyle, that's an interesting position for them. I don't think Spain's actually noticed them just for the time being, but we'll see. A little bit of that smoke now being deployed, trying to deter the likes specifically, I would say, of Kyle. Just give them a little bit of that cover as they need to still move on out of the situation. And I don't know how they're even going to be rotating out of this. You see Kyle now trying to close that gap, needing to get that confirmation sooner rather than later. And here it is, Kyle going to be up to the plate, and unfortunately the DBS says no.
That's just how the DBS works, right? It's also called the Don't Be Silly. And so a good spray going through there from Spain. But Delphine's still going to be holding steady, trying to reach in now with that utility, trying to avenge their fallen teammates. But I mean, regardless of how you look at it, Prestige, though, already walking away with 5 elims. I mean, this is still a valiant effort being brought through. But is it going to be enough to get them where they want to go? Of course, starting the match off with 60 points to their name. Looking at the side of Spain, sitting on 11, but Spain could maybe now find a few more elims as they do their due diligence. Ooh, they could find a little bit of that Delphine nade action now coming in. As Delphine tries to stop them in their push, but the spray is there. Spain locks it in, and that is Prestige. Now getting their ticket punched.
Wow, okay. No, look, I mean, kudos to Spain for making that one happen. They had everything up against them, and they still turned it around. So, absolutely well done. Now, it is up to the duo of Sabratatata to bring in something else. up against Greece now, moving in with their full squad, looking to take the likes of Ratatata out of the situation. Ooh, he is going to be finding Martin. And now it is all down to Tornado, I believe, to make something happen in this situation. But again, you're up against a 1v4, and it's a 1v3, it's a 1-to-3 split. So Antidote, if they don't find you, the rest of the team will.
Yeah, I mean, and just with one hit, right, that took down half of the team of Sabratata. So, Antidote now gonna come knocking on the door. Ooh, ooh.
Knock, knock.
Tornado.
Peekaboo.
I think Tornado's AFK. No, I mean, okay, you gotta commend Antidote for this.
Yeah.
I mean, not taking advantage, just sitting there waiting is like, okay, well, what's gonna happen?
Oh.
There we go.
No.
Nilas is gonna go
Nilas.
like, you know what, it's the Elam. Pick it up, get it. And with that, we are down to 12 teams. But now, the Spaghetti Slayers and Vanguard 1 getting into a bit of an altercation, as well as Esports Red and potentially Azerbaijan.
Oh, well, let's take a look at this one now. Azerbaijan, 88 points currently on the overall leaderboard. Staring down the barrels of Team Baguette, who are trying to catch up to them. So, if they knew that Azerbaijan was just below them, I think they would be hunting them down, trying to put a stop to them as soon as possible before they start picking up any points whatsoever. Because, I mean, as it currently stands, from 75 up to 88, that is still a hefty run for Team Baguette to make just to be able to tie up with Azerbaijan. So, yeah, I don't know how they're going to make it happen, but we'll have to wait and see. That zone now going to be closing on up, and let's see where we'll be heading on this last match of again.
Well, we'll find out soon enough where it is going to be taking us as we now wait for the teams to get themselves secured. Nordic now going to be rushing in from the southern edge, and this could lead them right into a little bit of chaos. But speaking about chaos, look at Vanguard 1 now getting caught out in the open. Spaghetti Slayers laying it on pretty thick as they get that wipe in. 3 Elams to their name. Nordic now going to be pulling in alongside Esports Red. Kill shot at the ready. Shanky waiting to see what they can bring on in. Oh, Ramiz getting found. Linus trying to clean up the position here. But will they be able to get it in though as Jetso gets found? Down they go. DBS coming in, swinging yet again. Killshot are looking to stay true to their name. The suppression, the surprise play coming through from the side of Azerbaijan as well.
Oh, and this is now the starting point. All of a sudden, Azerbaijan only 1 point away from 90 points. And then it's going to be very difficult for anyone to catch up to them, even the likes of Team Baguette. But as we see it, that 90 point comes through. They pick the second elimination. Spain now going to be going down. A little bit of a nade being sent over towards Nordic. Some spacing for the time being. Esports Red, they're not going to just lie down and let the sleeping lions rest. We can see another UC code up on the screen, so make sure you grab that one. Get yourself some of that 400 UC as we take a look and see what is going to go down here. Ooh. Now, the question again, DK, Azerbaijan already up with 2 eliminations and a full squad.
Yeah, I mean, they've already been kicking up quite a rampage here today, and unfortunately, Shanky gets taken on down as that nade finds its point. But now Nordic still going to be hanging in the wing. Let's see if Bully and Killshot will be able to get anything done at this point. Oh, Matthias super low on health. Jets are back in the fight. Bully now getting absolutely bullied as the utilities are raining in. Of course, now Molly's lighting up the floor, so that is a bit of a saving grace. But Nordic pretty eager to get the confirmation in. There we go. Bully goes down. It now boils to the final player left for Esports Red. This is Matthias and the rest of Nordic look to get it in, but Killshot absolutely devastating with that DVS. 1 more to go. Come on. Matthias just there. Come on, Killshot. Oh, the upset sneaking in from Azerbaijan.
Oh, no. I'm going to say that for everyone else in the lobby. Killshot now going to be greeted with some of that DBS action, so they're going to be getting a taste of their own medicine. But that does mean that Azerbaijan, they've just picked up 4 eliminations, sitting on 92 points. So I almost want to say it's pretty much confirmed at this point in time who our champions are going to be, but let's see. I mean, they've dropped 19 points, 29 points, sorry, it was 29 points in a single match. Who knows, maybe someone else can make something wondrous happen here on this last matchup, but it is definitely going to be a tall order.
Yes, it is going to be a tall order, but a very exciting one, whichever way we look at it. Now, Spaghetti Slayers just pulling up in towards the northern side of zone. CIS could come in hot pursuit of Garuda just ahead of them. This is going to be that opportunity for a bit of contention, a bit of fighting. Maybe CIS could bring a bit of a halt to the advances of Garuda. It's all going to come down to how both these teams handle the situation. An Old Boy with a beautiful spray, and that is absolutely devastating now for CIS. Zeus and Dagger left to try and make a difference.
A little bit of utilities now being sent out, trying to give them that spacing. CIS now scrambling as a two-piece, trying to stand up against the entirety of Garuda. With one at least down to a little bit of an HP, you would have thought that would have been the trigger for them to activate, to send it through, but the angles just aren't quite there.
Here we go now, Old Boy trying to pick it up yet again. Oh, but a little bit of cheeky spray. KV moving it as well. Zeus taking an absolute chunk out of their health there. And bang, sneaks it up. And that is the upset now. CIS down to Dagger. I'm not quite sure whether or not they are going to be able to survive. In the meanwhile, we do see the UC code up on screen as well. So be sure to go redeem that while you still can. Dagger trying to inch their way into some kind of a position. Trying to find the next potential approach to take. But it's not going to be easy one. 1v4. I mean, this is some pretty tough odds to go up against.
Oh, absolutely. It just seems like it's always falling on Dagger's shoulders to make something happen here. A very similar situation in the previous matchup there over towards Miramar, but this time around, unfortunately, the teams very much know about their position. Dagger is going to have to make a dash out in the open, is going to do a little bit of damage to Bang, but the blue zone is going to be moving on in and getting that confirmation. So CIS, they have to bow out from this one. Not a bad effort. Let's see what the rest of the teams are planning for this one. We can still see Azerbaijan now up with seven eliminations. I think that's it. I don't see how anyone can catch up to them now.
You know who can catch up? Chuck Norris. But here we go now as Azerbaijan are going to be moving up into towards Cement Factory. They got the Mavericks as well as Team PM up ahead. Spaghetti Slayers also just hanging in the wing. And this is a rampage that Azerbaijan is on. Rissa trying to send out a nade for what it's worth. Will it find any connection? Maybe it can still find Zico. But a cheeky play though, as Milas also rotates up into a bit of a vehicle explosion, I would assume that was. But PM now trying to lock this fort down, coming into this match with 14 points to their name. How many more can they look to get?
It's going to be the question, yeah. Azerbaijan sending it through a little bit of utility, just seeing if it might be able to connect over towards the side of Team PM. You see that zone 20 seconds out. Oh, and they will be spotting a little bit of information, but those utilities shouldn't for now be reaching. Again, this is now going to be a question of a zone. So for Azerbaijan, again, they are looking so good. They might as well have a little bit of fun with it. So we might see them be a little extra aggressive into this last matchup. Or maybe they're going to be going for that extra, winner chicken dinner for that extra UC. But ultimately, this is going to be a very tough situation now for Team Baguette as well. We can see Garuda coming through from that southern side. We've obviously got the likes of Team Greece as well as Azerbaijan in very close proximity.
Well, here we got Yoda and the rest of the crew there from Greece, also keeping it nice and steady. Garuda trying to maybe inch their way back up in towards the zone. I mean, looking at Greece, they are so close to the edge of the zone. I mean, they are just about to find that footing, but up comes Old Boy. You got to watch out for this push, though, as Yoda comes in with a Tommy gun. Hey! It does beat out the DVS. Wow, phenomenal spray, but up comes KB for the upset. Again, the aggression is there. Yoda absolutely on fire.
Oh, you'd say that again. Yoda moving in with that Tommy gun as well. Still potential, but oh, damage going to be dealt, at least just as a bit of a warning sign as the Spaghetti Slayers, they move on in for that territory. Would love to get a few extra eliminations in this situation. While they're not quite going to be reaching it, we can see Ramsey now moving on up as well. So, there is just chaos and more chaos brewing into this position.
Well, here we go. Yeah, getting shipped out in 7th. Down they go. Team Baguette now coming under fire as well, as Ramsey looks to regain a little bit of a foothold here. Down to the final player left for Garuda. So it's literally going to come down to the wire for them. But the pressure is on, right? The heat is there. Let's see if Ramsey is going to be able to bring in the upset to find that play. No, it's still going to be a sneaky one. Come on, Ramsey, nice and quiet. Destina boy trying to get everything they can find at this point. But of course, that zone has shifted over towards the western side. So it is going to pose quite a bit of a challenge for these teams to get themselves repositioned yet again. And as we can see kind of on that map as well, there already are a few players situated within this next phase. So I'm curious to see how this edge zone play is going to really conclude itself for the teams.
Ooh, a little bit of a back and forth here between Azerbaijan and the Mavericks. Manib is going to be standing up as the solo, but not for much longer as Zico moves on in. We can see now the activation over towards Team Baguette. Ramsey, I think I did see them just for a moment, or at least I heard it. They did make a little bit of a noise, or they tried to shoot, obviously, at the likes of Team Baguette. So I would imagine they have that information, at least for the time being. But we'll have to wait and see if potentially Ramsey could turn this one around and get a little sneaky once again. But we've officially seen that Azerbaijan have reached the 100-point marker. They are on triple digits now, solidifying themselves as the champions. But let's see how far they can go.
Oh, here we go. Antidote. Beautiful trade. Finding that DBS hit. Oh, but Hamas brings in the upset. Puts a fork in it. And of course, we've got that code up on screen as well. So be sure to go redeem the code as we are running out of codes. In the meanwhile, we're also running out of space as we are down to 4 teams, 11 players now left to duke it out to see who's going to be the one to pick up the final winner chicken dinner. Destina looking to mend to their teammate as Kite has been brought to their knees. Siren's still going to be riding the ridge, but I love that position being held by Ramsey. Beautiful bit of elevation, still somewhat secured within the zone. But once that zone shifts away, it is going to be an absolute upset to get themselves secured yet again. Azerbaijan now potentially brought down to only 3 players though, as the res is going to come through for Zico. But now Shalona comes jumping down as well.
It is just absolute chaos. And I mean, Azerbaijan, they're running this as a 2-2 split, right? So full confidence in their ability to run this as a 2-2 split. The fact that we still have Team Baguette up with their full 3. We've got, of course, the Spaghetti Slayers, and of course, at least Ramsey from Garuda to potentially still make something happen here. With Boy finding that confirmation immediately onto Zico. Now Siren up into a little bit of danger, but at least they are pretty close in proximity to the rest of their teammate. They can very quickly jump on back, but oh, the activation is there. Ramsey made it happen.
Oh, but it's not over just yet. It's now going to be down to the final push, right? Ramsey still... Oh! Well, Ramsey was in a phenomenal setup there. Garuda getting sent back with only one elimination up. But Azerbaijan, Spaghetti Slayers, and of course the players coming through from Baguettes going to be looking to push it through to the very, very finish. And now, again, it comes to who has the fastest finger on the trigger.
Going to be that question mark. We can see Spaghetti Slayers now moving in position. No, Hamas taking quite a bit of damage. Now Azerbaijan trying to lock this one down. Still up with a duo, but that duo has a lot of space in between them, so the crossfires are not going to be easy. Team Baguette, if they can take this one down, if they can slowly dissect the situation, maybe they can still take the last winner chicken dinner. But Boy goes down. Ooh. It's going to be tough.
Yeah, it's going to be... Oh, the upset there. White Days, though, trying to make a bit of a rush angle on this. There's Cena not going to allow any of that to come through. Shalona now all on their own out in the open. Looking for a bit of an opportunity. Hamas goes right on down. Spaghetti Slayers getting sent out with 9 elims up. Azerbaijan again sitting on an absolute insane number. 14 elims. Ooh, there's Cena still holding steady. It's going to be a 1v3 push, but that health bar is not looking all too great for the side here of Team Baguette. So let's see if Shalona can maybe find that last little bit of a rampage. Oh, Destina goes down. 2 left. Somehow, they have to find Shalona and put a stop to this insanity.
Oh, and I don't know how the utility is looking for Team Baguette, but Poy's going to be the first one to jump down. DVS in hand. Shalona will make it happen, and now Skyt, the next one to try and pick this up for Team Baguette. Shalona has been so good already, 2 down. Only 1 more, and they secure themselves not only the championship, but of course, that last winner chicken dinner.
This is going to be a literal standoff. A face-off to see who's going to be the one to secure that final play. Up comes the push now. DBS on either end. It is going to be a battle of the triggers.
Woo!
And Azerbaijan close it up. Shalona claims that winner chicken dinner, the victory, the prize, the glory, and 17 total eliminations.
No. No, I don't want to do the math. I mean, 2 17s and a 19 elimination winner chicken dinner games for Azerbaijan today.
Yeah.
In one day.
Yeah.
I can't. Please, DK, speak.
The easy way to answer that question or to do the math, right, is it's a lot. That is it. It is a lot of eliminations, and that's how much they were able to find. But of course, we got to take a look at that second page. I mean, this round, yeah, Sabratata also again finding themselves in the unfortunate position of not securing any points, but still they put up a play, right? They put up a performance, and I think that is good. Right, regardless of what the outcome of this is, I mean, you got to say these moderators, they've been playing some really good PUBG. I mean, regardless of what level they play at, this was very exciting to watch, and quite a bit of excitement has just trickled all over the place. I mean, yeah, it is what we want to see, right? Even the moderators showing that they too can play PUBG.
Oh yes, no, I don't think anyone could ever doubt that ever. If they do, for some reason, just go show them that. And of course, Shalona is going to be the MVP. If anyone else was going to be the MVP, I would have rioted. I would have lost my mind. But yes, absolutely congratulations to Shalona. 8 eliminations, 1,000 plus damage, and the best 1v3 clutch I've ever seen in my lifetime.
Yes, that was amazing, especially looking to see that, DBS v DBS showdown. And of course, what better map to do it on other than the amazing Vikendi. So, mad respect going out there to the side of not only Azerbaijan, but Shalona for that MVP slot. I mean, over 1,000 damage. That was a lot of work. That was a pretty sweaty play. I'm pretty sure that Shalona is still shaking of the adrenaline that they experienced coming through from that one. Because if Shalona wasn't shaking, I'm shaking on their behalf. But Azerbaijan closing it off with 75 eliminations is... Like, this is insane, right? Absolutely runaway play. 3 winner chicken dinners and 115 points.
101 points that they picked up in one day. One day. I can't. But oh my goodness gracious. Azerbaijan, absolutely congratulations. That was an incredible showing. 75 eliminations to add to that tally. I know, please don't make me talk any longer. But ultimately, we have to say just congratulations to everyone who's made it to the stage in the first place. I mean, they all had to go through qualifiers to get to the finals weekend. So every single team here absolutely deserves a round of applause for all their hard efforts, not only when they are moderating, but also with all the fantastic performances they have put on the battlefield today.
Yeah, it's been an absolute blast watching what everyone's been up to here so far. And of course, I mean, they played for bragging rights, so the bragging rights definitely going over to the side there of Azerbaijan. There is no arguing that point because, they've just been on an absolute rampage here today. But, yeah, this is also our overall MVP, right? Shalona taking the show with 28 eliminations and 3,800 damage. I mean, that is essentially 10 squads, almost 10 squads worth of damage being dealt.
I cannot deal with these numbers. This is ridiculous. But absolutely, congratulations. Like I said, if you just showed me some of this gameplay and asked me, what level do I think these players are playing at, I would be like, oh, obviously they must be pro. I mean, come on. No, this is glorious. Absolutely congratulations. And I mean, with a showing like that, you can understand why they are the MVPs of the overall tournament. So just beautiful, beautiful work.
Yeah, it is an amazing, amazing showing. So well done to Shalona. Apparently, we need to wait. There's something that's coming. We don't know what that is though. So something's gonna happen. We got some highlights. Of course, let's
Hey.
enjoy the highlights. We'll keep quiety for a quick second here. All right, so there we go. There we have it. That is it. Right, so bad respect going out to everyone, of course. The everyone involved with the event, right? So all the other casters that we had, as you saw, the beautifully long list of talent that we had presenting this event. But of course, mad respect going out to all the moderators, absolute legends. epic beast, and we love watching you play in the Moderators Challenge. But yeah, let's hope to see what season 3 is going to bring, right? That will be coming in, I think, next year sometime. Who knows, right? It's a once a year event, but it was great fun to witness all the moderators bring in some phenomenal plays. I mean, if I was to play with any one of them in a team, I would definitely be the med boy, right? Running around giving them meds and just having them do what they've been doing. But yeah, on that one, big thank you going out for everyone that has made this event possible. Mad respect going out to our moderators. We appreciate everything that you do for all the different communities and for PUBG in general. But on that note, Ez, I think we got to close it off here. So everyone, hope you have a fantastic time. Thank you so much for being here with us. And we look forward to seeing you all back in the next one. Right, so until then, stay fresh, stay frosty, and we shall see you all later.